right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, you got Perigo running up here as we're beginning. But it's been an interesting one. Super slow. We kind of got the reverse of Friday. Instead of Putin and peace, people didn't really feel it. Now we got Zelenskyy come in with all the European leaders. You did actually hear about Intel. We were just going over all of that. I encourage you all to position up or down and take advantage of this development as it's developing, or make your decision later if you're going to choose to watch it. But we had a discussion on that. We're getting to hear more on either the CHIPS Act funds or not. So you're getting some activity there. Otherwise, we got a little bit of data towards the end of the week, and then now we are waiting for your boy Jackson Hole and Jerome Powell. Jackson Hole's a location, but that's going to be about Thursday, Friday. So we're still kind of in this waiting period. And then today's the Zelenskyy stuff. I think, all the leaders are outside. So we're getting ready for that. But I figure we might as well Philo and start off Monday, baby. So good morning. Good morning. I'm going to go get this ready. You got the news wire up. So, yeah, let me set this up, and then we will begin. We will begin. I don't know when this starts. No, I don't. I've probably towards the end of the day.
As investors await Powell's speech at Jackson Hole later this week. But look, this Trump-Zelenskyy summit at the White House could have consequences that last generations. Our own Eamon Javers is at the White House now. So, Eamon, you've watched as those European leaders have arrived. Set the scene for me about what is riding on this summit.
Contessa, the stakes here are enormous, and it's kind of staggering to watch the number of world leaders walking into the White House today. I don't think I've seen a meeting like this at the White House in maybe ever in my career covering the White House. I mean, this is an impressive display of Western political leadership here at the White House. And now they're all waiting for President Zelenskyy of Ukraine, who we are expecting in mere moments to enter the West Wing from the North Lawn side, which is where I am. You saw those greetings with Monica Crowley, the protocol official here at the White House, on the south side of the White House. I'm now on the North Lawn, and you can see behind me the honor guard is assembled and ready to greet Zelenskyy when he arrives. He's going to proceed down the driveway here and be greeted at the West Wing, not by Monica Crowley, but by President Trump himself for the official handshake and greeting in that shot that you're looking at there. The stakes, as you say, are enormous, potentially generational in terms of duration. The question is whether or not those security guarantees can be crafted in a way by the Western leaders here at the White House in a way that Zelenskyy will view as security for Ukraine, but that Putin won't view as a threat to Russia. Can they thread that needle? That's the real trick here. And then, of course, whether or not we see a repeat of the blow-up that we saw between Trump and Zelenskyy in their February meeting, the last time Volodymyr Zelenskyy was here at the White House, Contessa.
You were covering every twist and turn of the talks as they happened in Alaska. When we saw Zelenskyy last at the White House in February of this year, it did not go well. The president, the vice president took umbrage at the tone and the insistence, the defense that Zelenskyy had for his land and his people. Have things changed? Is there, from your mind and what you're hearing from White House officials, is the calculus different now?
Yeah, the expectation is that things have changed and we won't see a repeat of that. You have to watch for it, though, because, this president, these leaders are all unpredictable individuals. They can do what they want, and so we'll watch and see. But the sense is that this president had been sort of turned on Putin over the course of the past several months, frustrated with Vladimir Putin. He's voiced it several times, this idea that Putin continues to conduct strikes on civilians in Ukraine. Putin is not moving forward with any kind of ceasefire initiative. At one point, you saw the president taking to social media and posting simply, "Vladimir, stop." So this is a president who's become increasingly frustrated with Putin over the course of the past 6 or 8 months. And then you saw this session in Alaska, the president applauding Putin, rolling out the red carpet for him, giving him sort of full protocol greeting in Alaska, the first time a Russian leader had been in Alaska since that state was in U.S. possession. And then we have today. And so we'll see, where the dial has landed in terms of the president's views of Zelenskyy and Putin, which have been moving month to month throughout the course of this year.
So the understanding now is that that Putin wants Ukraine to cede control of some of its land in order for a lasting peace.
Right.
I'm just curious, if that were to be agreed to today, if Zelenskyy were to go in and tell President Trump, okay, you know what? In order to save the rest of my country, I'm going to do that. What would be the process for him at home? Can he unilaterally decide to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, and the other question is, politically, what would be the punishment for him for doing that from the Ukrainian people? We've seen some polling in Ukraine that suggests that Ukrainians are more willing to have a diplomatic solution to this war than they have been really at any point since the invasion. But that's an open question politically and legally for Zelenskyy. He has said his constitution doesn't allow him to give up territory in Ukraine. And I think we have a map, Contessa. I don't know if the control room has it there, but it shows about,
I mean, with all due respect, didn't you
of the
suspend
territory
his
of Ukraine now
constitution?
is controlled by the Russian military. Just a sliver of territory that has been gained by the...
No, now you got an Intel Ukraine headline. I'm not dealing with this, guys. Make up your fucking decision. You're gonna get headlines back and forth for the next until the real decision happens, and I'm not gonna explain this over and over. Make your fucking mind up. All right, I'm excited, bro. You're gonna see, bro. Oh, this Philo, I'm ready, bro. Oh, yeah. Chadadonia. Yeah, different type of intel. That's why it's funny, bro. Make up your mind, bro. It's not... That's what I'm saying. So, Chad, oh, man, I love it. I actually have a good Philo for you. Believe it or not, man, I am gonna I have such a weird, like, motivation dump for you, because all of the shit that I had such a busy weekend. You know that, bro? Even getting you guys a video, the farm, everything, bro. I was doing a bunch of shit, bro. And then I also got a bunch of good Philo. And I was thinking about you guys. So, I don't know, man. That's why, like, I woke up today and I had a high standard because, and it was for a good reason. I was really, really thinking about a lot of you, and you guys just, I don't know, man, you get me inspired. I hope you realize that. The ones who have leveled up, bro, and those of you who, I don't know, I see me in a lot of you. And some of you, I don't see me at all. That's why I'm like, come on, bro. But no, yeah, some of y'all have it, man. Whether you have the success you deserve yet, I think you have it. As long as you have the mentality, as long as you, I'm telling you, that's all it is, man. I told you the same thing at the beginning of the year. I think some of you, whether you met me or not, you would have been successful. You have that personality. You have that drive in you. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to work with. If we could work with that, oh, that's just easy. But otherwise, I can't teach the drive. I can't teach belief. Though those are things that if you come to me with the seed of it, I could work with it. But if you don't have it, then you don't have it, unfortunately. So we'll talk about it. But before I get into that, I am going to talk about God, Jesus, Bible, everything. So if you don't want to listen, leave. You already found this video, and a lot of other things. And that's what I was saying, man. You know, and this is why I'm glad. I'm glad I've called it out. I'm glad I've been obnoxious. I know I'm obnoxious. I am. Believe me. I know how I sound, you guys. Believe me. But then again, I'm either really crazy or I'm correct. So we'll find out, and praise the Lord. But that's what I've been telling y'all. Well, talk to me at the end. Talk to me at the end, and we'll see. But, dude, all of this, man, I think we all have a blessing, but I'm also, you guys see it all. You see the opportunity. And some of you have shared this space with me. How many things, bro? I went full Trumper, full Jesus. I went full everything. I went full cuckoo. They keep telling me they're going to stop this, stop, that we're not going to do it. How come everybody's still here? So yeah, bro, enough of the games. And I think some of you see it. And that's why those of you who see it and are not participating in the nonsense, good. Because I want you to see that's your opportunity. Let's take it. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's go. Game time. That's it. That's all. So, and I'm glad and I'm very grateful for you. So if you don't want to be in Philo, if I still have to explain this to you, that's your life, bro. So we will focus on stocks. Help me out. Call out anything. We'll get good workflow. But yeah, man, you gotta, the gate is closing more. Okay, so let me just start. I'm going to start. My intro is a rant. It's not even a rant. It's just a bunch of random ass topics that I just kept writing down. And here's the first one, bro, because I was thinking about you guys. You know that, bro? I got another email, bro, and I don't know, bro. I got really emotional. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, y'all getting emotional about Intel and money, that's funny to me. But I got emotional because, again, man, I had another, like, Chad reach out and another person, family member, and, like, just hearing about the impact on you guys. And people asking, you know, you guys want a happy birthday request. You know, I love doing that for you. I really do. I just because I'd like to brighten your day. Those of you who are really a part of this. But again, I kept thinking about this. And I was thinking about all the people this year who have reached out, or other people, they know you watch the channel and they reach out to me because they say, hey, he watches, she watches every day. This is what it is. This would mean a lot. Right? And I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. You know why? Because I would hope that if I could give you something special where you actually feel as genuine as I put into this, bro, I hope you get that out. I really do. And I was thinking about it, bro, and it really, like, I don't know, man. I was getting really emotional about it because I'm like, God, thank you. Thank you for all of these people. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm just like, bro, I want to use it. Do you understand me? I want to use it for good. And I'm going to, mother effer. So this is also what I started thinking about. And this is what I mean when I'm like, bro, some of y'all, this means a lot. And I'm glad it does. And I know being in this community is important. And it's important to me. I've given most of my life for it now, or a lot of my life now, or at least my present life. I commit a lot of it to this, as do some of you. And I hope more. But I know my responsibility. And I know what I need to provide. And I'm going to do more and better. And that's why I'm excited. But I told y'all, man, if I have the opportunity to be in your ear, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use it to tell you good things. Do you not understand? I know you may not like, I may sound like an asshole at times, but listen, high standard. I want to push out the best in everybody because we can. And I was just thinking about it, bro. Like, bro, if you're willingly putting me on your television, your ears, all of it, bro, I am going to be a very aggressive angel. that is what I have tried to do. Okay? Because that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, and the way I feel like, because, like, you got to think about it, man. And I know people watch and they're really involved. And that's why, like, I would hate to, like, ban somebody. And they're like, oh, but I watch every day. I'm involved. And they're like, oh, but, like, listen to me. You know why I'm going to ban you? Because I'm supposed to be your aggressive angel in your ear. I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you the good things. I have to. And I'm going to make sure with the competition of this world and how competing this world is for your attention, oh, I'm going to make it entertaining. I'm going to make it enticing, and I'm going to get your attention. But here's the deal, bro. It's very simple. If you could watch me, you can become great. That's it. That's why I'm going to be aggressive. Do you understand? That's why. You're telling me I watch, I give so much of my time to you. Other people in my life notice it and will even reach out to you. Bro, I love it, and you are family. I am with you. But guess what? As family, I'm not going to let you listen and do nothing with your life. I can't. I refuse. And so are you. Otherwise, you stop watching. That's it. I'm done. So are you. You decide. Because if you could listen to the words I'm saying, you can literally become great. You don't believe me? Ask the thousands of other men and women who have already done it. Why do you think they're still here? Look at their lives. We have people going from homeless, literally homeless. You know, we got the other guy, he work at Bloomberg now. He was living in his car. I don't care where you end up. I don't care if it's a place I don't even like. All I know is we could change your life. With good, you can, it's not even me, it's all God, bro. But you can become great. That's what I'm telling you. You know why? Because it starts with what you hear. It starts with what you know. I never knew what I could do until I heard it. You know that, right? I heard it one day. I just heard it through my ears. And boom, I was awoken. What are you telling me right now? So yeah, I know it's going to be aggressive. I have a high standard for all of you. What do you mean you randomly stumbled upon this channel? I got you in my ear and you want me to just encourage gambling. You want me to encourage all the bad things that you could get anywhere. Go anywhere. They're going to sell it to you to take your money. So guess what, bro? If I know if you could at the very least just listen. If you could listen and have fun and vibe, bro, you could become great. That's what I'm talking about. And you should. And I'm not going to accept anything else. That's what I believe. Yes, I know we're fun to hang out with. There's a great community and we chill and we really do enjoy each other. But there is greatness. Do you understand? All of you are called. I believe that. Why do you think I invest what I invest into this? Why do I do it so much differently still to this day? Because I believe in something. And if I believe that you have been called and chosen and sent here, do you see what I'm telling you? That is why I'm like, bro, it has to match up. And I need you to start believing that. And if you're willing to invest your ear, your attention, your gateway into what I have to offer here, that's awesome. But I'm not going to let you do that and try to hold the same belief that you're going to be mediocre or that you cannot do. No, a lot is expected. A lot is called. So let's get it, bro. Like, do you see, bro? That's what I woke up with today. That's why. That's why when I saw the chat, bro, and I see the Mondays and Fridays, like, I'm not mad, bro. I'm really not. And I love some of y'all. That's why, because I'm seeing you rise, bro. I'm watching you become thinkers. It just in one or 2 weeks even, some of you guys were knocking down the strongholds and you're realizing accurate thought, clear thought. Don't get in. You're learning to decide, to take info and take advantage of it for real. And the way, this is how it works, bro. Because the people who take the info and actually use it are called to greatness. And listen, you guys are going to take advantage of the info and change your life. The lazy ones and the ones who lie and half-ass, they're going to take the info to take advantage of other people. Do you see the difference? All the knowledge I share with you is enough to make a fuck ton of money. Want to know why? Because I've done it. Even last fucking week, even the week before that, go back to the core weaves, you name it. We're talking 9,000, 5,000% plays. Then we're talking outperformance of the world on the long term. Do you not understand? The real estate, you could change your life with this info. You could monetize the info by being ahead of the world if you're really paying attention. That's crazy. And that's what some of you are doing and will do as you really take advantage and hone your skill set and learn. And like I'm saying, if you're not really about it, you're half-assing it, you're lying, you don't want to stand up to this standard, you want to be a part of a community, hang out, but not for the real reason, but you have this greed and this money, but you don't want to put in the work ethic, you're going to take the info to take advantage of others, not the info. I take advantage of info, it's enriched my life. That is what I do. Simple as that. I see a bunch of lazy people on Wall Street, they take advantage of others. Very big gap. So which one do you want to do? I know I could tell you exactly where you guys will end up based on your work ethic, and because that's it. It's going to be one or the other. You are either going to be taking advantage of the world and the info and making money off of it, or you're not going to do that and you're going to have to resort to taking advantage of others. Very simple. I've seen it. You've seen it too. Ta-da! Trump is talking. I kind of want to listen. I'm playing it. We'll come back to it because I'm still at the intro.
For your efforts,
that's a military suit.
And stop this war. Thank you. And using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, she, First Lady of Ukraine. She gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
Oh, I want it.
Yeah. So we are saying this sensitive topic. Yeah. Yes, please. And thanks to our partners and that you supported this format. That after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO. I mean, all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks to them, and thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Do you think it's fair?
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelenskyy, you say in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelenskyy of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Which is it?
No, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And,
Trilateral
is this the end of
meetings
the
hitting the
road
fire.
for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And
I don't even know if that's a
the
suit.
president.
Zelenskyy looked like me
myself,
when
and
my
I
girl
believe
started
Vladimir
to try
Putin
to
wants
dress
see
me
it
up.
ended.
And as you met with Putin,
She's
on
like, wear
Friday,
a jacket,
today you've
and I
got
just be
President
buying
Zelenskyy
shit
here.
from Ross that's
As you listen to
oversized.
Russia and Ukraine,
I'm like,
which side
what?
has the better cards?
It's a suit.
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be. Look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I did that. Fuck yeah.
And
put
we
some
want to get it
respect on my
ended.
name.
And we want it to end good for
Yeah.
everybody. We want it to end good. The people of
Put
Ukraine
it
have
price
suffered
hike.
incredibly.
And to that point, President Zelenskyy, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian
I
troops
lived.
to their
You know how many
deaths for another
meetings I've
12
gotten
years,
through
or
because of Ross,
are
bro?
you going to agree
Don't
to
ever. Yeah,
withdraw
amen, bro.
now?
Amen.
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. You know that today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again.
Chill, bro.
We're going to make sure that everything's good.
I think Donald Trump's being a lot chiller. There's no JD Vance. Way better than last time, bro. Last time was a fuck up. It was just because the beginning Trump was getting in, and I think Zelenskyy still thought it was Biden. Because I know Zelenskyy could do better, and I think that's why I think he's actually. I think they're both doing a lot better. Yeah, that's why they cut out JD Vance too. I think he's really. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Ever since like I made the video 2-3 weeks ago, right when they started mentioning oil, like you just got the vibe. Trump just wants to end this. I think Trump is willing to deal with Zelenskyy and Putin, and just in a way that was just like, let's go, bro. Let's just get this done. He knows. That's why he's being very respectful.
Also, we'll be involved.
Which is good.
Mr. President, Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end.
Yeah, there was a lot of
addressing
ego
the
last
root causes
time. I
of
would
this war.
agree with that.
Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time. But they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan. We're talking about the big places. When you look at you just take a look at some of these wars.
I'm going back to Philo. I just want to see. I'll get the headlines if he says anything groundbreaking. But it does seem trilateral meeting, and then the whole idea of peace, we're pushing towards it. So we will see. We will see. But yeah, Chad. Do you get what I'm saying, though? I expect a lot from you. And I expect a lot from myself as well. And if I have your ear, I'm going to be that aggressive angel. And now I need you all to start living in it. The gate is closing further. And I love you, okay? That's what I'll tell you. Just remember, just let me put it this way. I can make a lot more money doing exactly what I'm doing now, have a lot less attachment, and I could just let everybody just do whatever the fuck they want. Just understand, I have a goal. And I think you do too. And I think we could do some crazier stuff than just money. That's why I'm saying, bro, it's worth it. And I look forward to the future. So, yalla. But that's the first one, okay? If you guys could watch, you could be great. So, I don't want to hear it anymore. That's it. It's you either live in it or not. But now, I heard this too from my boy Miles Monroe. And even then, bro, everything we talked about on Friday, that's what I'm telling you, man. There's eyesight and vision, right? You remember that? Sight is the greatest threat to vision. You got to make your decision, man. You're gonna see things. You won't see things while they're happening. You could only see so much. Do you not realize, bro, my whole life? I've lived my whole life in faith, man. Even to this day, I love it. And God is good. A lot of what I believe, you can't see it. You know that, right? I told you, I know how I sound. I said a lot. Bro, let me just tell you right now. If people think that you are crazy, that you are an excellent citizen of the kingdom. You understand? Trump feels confident we'll get this solved. Nah, for real though. Do you understand? Now, obviously, I don't want y'all to go cuckoo. And there is like a borderline, you know, like obviously there's like real medical issues. And I hope, you know, that's why too, if you're doing drugs, bro, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because all this Philo stuff, but then you all drugged out, that's probably the drugs. Oh, I hate to break it to you. I know. That's what I'm saying, though. I've been called a lot of things. I've been told a lot of things. And like I've said, I mean, let's just put it, let's compare it then. Why do I do what I do then? How do I behave like this if it was a certain way? All I'm telling you, very, very simple, man. I talk about a lot of things before they happen. I live my whole life on this idea of faith and talking about things you can't necessarily see. I believe that. My brother, that's crazy by default. But I'm just telling you, if the worldly standard, you look crazy, my brother, you may be an excellent citizen of the kingdom. I heard that. It got me a little bit excited. You know what else I heard too? Like I told you, I got a bunch of random ones before I get into the main topic of today. And the cycles. I've heard this. Have you heard this before, Chad? This too shall pass. Have any of you, your grandparents, your mom, your family, they tell you that? I've told you that. This too shall pass. It will come to pass. You've heard that, right? Both a Philo, motivation. We've heard a lot, bro. We've heard a lot. So, you've heard it, right? This too shall pass. This will come to pass. You know that is correct. But I need you to, you know why? Have you not realized? It's true. There's always going to be a better day, bro. Some of you need to start like actually understanding that. Your present is not permanent. It's almost foolish to assume that your present is going to stay the same. Everything. There's good times and bad times for everybody. So, this too shall pass. You should know that, right? It gets better. I want you to understand it. Are you ready? It's cyclical. How many times have I given you the philo of the circle? The clock, time, circle, globe, circle. Everything is a circle. You start off, you're neutral, life gets bad, worse, the worst, then things get a little better, looking up, now you're doing good, now the best you've ever done, now you're on top of the world, then it starts to slip again, then you're back to neutral, then you feel bad, then the worst time, then it gets a little better, now you're back to normal, now you're doing good, now it's the best you've ever been, then you start to slip, now you're back where you are, then you see what I'm saying? You keep doing it, cyclical. Yep. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. 100%. Cycles. It's funny because this is very economical when you really look at it. But have you ever thought about it? You never have? This too shall pass is literally talking about the circle, the cycle. That's what that means. So don't forget it. It's true. Everything and whatever is happening now, Chad, as a reminder. If you're going through good right now, this too shall pass. If you're going through bad, this too shall pass. You're going through a period where you don't feel anything, this too shall pass. But understand the cycle. Yo, we're ripping. Trump will have peace. We're open to election. Why is he ripping?
But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good.
Yo, you're ripping.
But it's
all
very
he's saying is
sad
peace.
when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it.
It's all.
It was a hard thing for him.
I think again, it's on peace. I think it's people is it's the elections mixed in with the peace stuff. People are just getting hyped on that. So yeah, they're taking now the peace deal as a little bit more lasting. Like I said earlier, just make up your mind. It's the same idea, even without listening. It's just people like the trilateral meeting, and looks like we are getting closer. The whole vibe. That was their biggest pop all day in that time frame. So not bad. Not bad at all. An arc is going up. That's why I just threw that up there. Check Boeing. That's the one I really want. That's what I was saying, bro. I think Boeing, that's where all the dowries are going to be centered around. But until that one moves. So yeah, cycles, baby. Cyclical. This too shall pass is cyclical. And now I'm going to talk about this one a little bit more today. One of my favorite topics. But I did talk about this also last week or 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about the kingdom. Remember, what was it? Matthew, was it 14, 16? Or 16? Matthew 1600, I believe. 16. Seek first the kingdom. You remember that? Then it says, what you loosen on earth will be loosened in heaven. What you fasten on earth will be fastened in heaven. I love it. But I heard, I think it was Miles Monroe. He was talking about it. Do you understand? It leads to another thing that I even learned on the farm, but oh man. Do you realize that's like in a weird way, it's like a command. What you loosen on earth is loosened in heaven. What you tighten on earth is tightened in heaven. Now, I don't want to get into a crazy philo on it, because I could. But it's very simple, man. The things that you should be tightening are the things like fear. Do you get it? Hesitation. That is the thing that you should be tightening. You should be loosening a supernatural confidence in the Lord. You should be loosening discipline. Do you understand? Every day you get an opportunity. What are you tightening or loosening on both earth and your spirit? Think about these behaviors. Trump, I don't think there will be a ceasefire. Or that means you end it. But yeah, man. And all these traits and some of the ones, there's obviously, again, belief, independent thought, having no fear. These are very critical. Again, are you loosening or are you tightening these things? And again, how you live here is essentially what you're training for eternity. So don't forget that. But then that's what again, you tighten, you loosen. The kingdom. How it responds. This is what I learned, bro. So I told you I had to go to these HOA meetings for the farm. I had that bulldozer dude doing shit. I learned about the crackheads who live nearby, or like they told me that if I leave stuff outside, it'll get stolen. They were telling me all this. They were explaining the roads. I learned about the water bonds. And then we were going over all of these things, bro. And they're teaching me about like roads. And I have this road and how I could use it, how I could access it, how I could block it off. So I learned a lot through this HOA meeting. I was even learning just like what I could do with the property, right? I could learn, I could block certain roads. I could block this road is like technically public, but I could block it. But then if the government needs it, they could like tear it down and I won't be compensated. I was learning all these things, right? And it was about the property. It's like the zoning, taking care of it from all the other people. There's just so much, bro. But then it's funny because I heard, again, Miles Monroe talk about this. It was hilarious. He said the kingdom responds to somebody who acts like they own the property. Oh, man. Trump says I'll address Article 5 today. Do you understand? The kingdom responds to somebody who acts like they own the property. You realize that you need to believe. Again, the authority, how you move, what you say. You not realize you gotta actually act like you own the property. And you know why I told you the story of the farm? Because that's what I realized. This big ass property, bro, I realized, I was like, oh crap. It's different, bro. I own it now. I'm not just visiting. I'm not just looking around. It's not just an inspection. Every corner of that property, I got to block it off. I got to start, I put up signs. I'm putting up all the, you know why? Because it's mine. And if I don't, motherfuckers are going to, there's anything could happen. But guess what? The same level of authority you're expected spiritually. Do you not get it? That's why you can't just be accepting everything. That's why when you're like all this, like here's the next thing. This is what I was going to ask you. How many times have I asked you this? Do you bargain with your consciousness? No, how many right now? I'm telling you, you could be great. How many of you are going to tell me, well, it's hard right now? Yeah, but it's too rough. Oh, no. You know, I don't know enough. I know enough, but I don't know. How many of you are going to bargain with your consciousness? I tell you right there, go save and grow. Go buy a house. You're called to own the land. You are going to go buy a house. How many of you are going to say, but how can I buy a house if I'm old? And I'll never. Or are you going to say, how can I buy a house? Well, what do you mean? I don't have. Think about the last Philo. I don't know if you hear me, bro. Like I'm saying, bro, the kingdom responds to somebody who acts like they own the property. My behavior from looking at the property and visiting to owning has changed dramatically. And it has to. And if I didn't, then I'm gonna be exposing myself. Or I will not get what I paid for. So if I still go to this farm every day and act like I don't own it, do you not realize I can't make money off of it? Or I spent a lot of money to not get anything. Do you hear me? This is, oh man. Now imagine this spiritually. Your authority, your life, your property, everything in your life, the land. And God's even pointed some of y'all in areas. You need to manage your life like it is your land. And when you have your land, you have authority. Bro, let me just put it this way. Even if I own the farm, but if I act like I didn't, it wouldn't, oh my goodness. Do you not get it? The kingdom responds to somebody who acts like they own it. It really does. Because the fact is, you could own something, and if you don't act like you own it, you'll probably lose it. Do you see the irony in this? That's what I'm saying. Being on this farm, I realized, go watch the video I posted. That's why I said I took a step back and I got a lot done by myself. And I have my whole process. I have a lot of real estate experience. But I was like, bro, I need help. I don't need help on the, oh, we're going to fail. This is just like, no, I was like, wow, this is so, the property, it's so big. We need a boom, 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 boom. We need more. I need more authority on it. That's, you know why? Because it's ours. And we have a lot of it. So we need you need to stomp that down. But guess what? The same thing in all of your lives individually. I can't wait. I can't wait till you get there and I'll show you. But guess what, bro? I want you. Then all of you, when you look at that property, you come out, bro, I want you to think about your land and your life. Because you need to act with the same authority. It is your property. The kingdom, the keys of the kingdom, it responds to somebody who acts like it's theirs, bro. You know that, right? And let me tell you this. Have you ever been locked out of your own house? You forgot the keys? You still act differently when you're on that property. Do you see what I'm saying? How do you think it's going to work with the kingdom? Spiritually, God, all of it. Drafting executive order to end mail-in ballots, says Trump. Wow. But yeah, like I said, if it comes time, authority, border your property off. Tell me what, this is yours. Or are you going to bargain with it? Are you going to keep bargaining with the authority that you have? That is the question. So, the final thing I will tell you. This is kind of what I reminded you of Friday. And then I'm going to get into the main topic, which is a continuation from Friday. But, Chad, you don't need anything. You don't need to do anything crazy. You know that? It's amazing. All of you, like I said, if you could listen, you could become great. For real. You do not need to leap, but you must climb. Do you understand? You're not going to get water out of a rock. You're not going to force impossible things to happen. You don't need to do anything extraordinary. You don't need to be the most talented individual. You don't need to have full control of yourself. My brother, the fear is always going to be there, but you're going to have a different response to it. You don't need to leap, but you must climb. Does that make sense? You're going to work. You're going to climb every day, little by little. That's the whole point. Anything in this world, it's truly a small, definite action every day can change anything, even your own mind. Do you understand that? Anything. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to make a crazy leap. You don't need to discover anything new. But if you actually just did one small, definite action every single day from today, it would be impossible for you not to change. That's the reality. That is one of the secrets of life. That's it. The small, good decisions. Go make up anything. I'm gonna save money. My health. You name it. You go to anything. It could be bad too. Some of you haven't realized that. That's how addictions get started. Small, definite action. Just one small thing, consistently, repetitive, reproducing. You don't get that? Reproduce, repetitive. So repetition reproduces. It's the same word. I hope you get it. That's one of the secrets of life. That's intelligence, repetition. You could unlock anything, or you could create something through repetition. Everything is a repeat. That's why it's a cycle. A cycle is a repeat. The world, it just repeats. The sun, the moon, it's a repetition. Everything in the environment is all a repetition, a system. Biological systems are just repetitions. Oh, they don't feel me, bro. Do you get it? The question is, are you using that force of the world as God created? Are you using it in your favor, or is it being used against you? Are small, definite actions compounding in your favor, or are they compounding against you? Okay, Trump and Zelenskyy are done. We'll have call with Putin after meeting. Just spoke to Putin indirectly. So yeah, man. Small good decisions, bro. You could get anything. That's what I'm saying. If in the most practical way, if you're like, man, I want this. If you could do a small definite action daily, you will change into whatever that small definite action is. So good luck. But that, my friend, is not what I wanted to tell you. That was just random. Like I told you, I had a very busy weekend. And I was listening to I drove a lot, so I'd listen to a lot, and I'd just write stuff down every time I'd hear it. But, you know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about last week. I want to talk about that last Philo on Friday. I want to continue it. Told you it was Napoleon Hill. I'm glad more and more of you are discovering him. He's old, bro. Andrew Carnegie days. It's crazy. But do you remember what I read you? What was it? Luke 1? And John and Mary? Did you figure out the answer? Yeah, what was the difference when he asked the question? He asked the question, the same exact question was the difference between pissing off the angel and then being blessed as the mother of Christ. What was it? What did you come up with? That one was crazy. It's funny because when it happened, somebody did say the answer. They did say it right away. The answer, there's many, but I think it's a weird mix. And I think most of you understood it. It was logic versus reason. One of them was more logical. The other one was more of a reasoning, an excuse. Do you get it? Logically, she was a virgin. That doesn't, she's saying nature, impossibility. She's like, how would that work? That was rooted in logic. Whereas the other dude just gave a reason where, yeah, maybe logically you're too old, but compare that to being a virgin and having a child. So do you see the difference? God tells you something. Are you using logic or are you using your reason? But more so, just the questioning. And you know what's funny? I read that, and yes, I was even explaining to y'all, and some people were like, Josh, you keep banning. Why do you keep doing? Listen to that. You don't see it? That whole, even in the Bible, the people who are given a promise, if they were just using their own reasoning to talk themselves out of that, that would even piss the angels off. Go question away. If it's a logical question, but are you just using your own reason to stop whatever you think it is? Especially if it's even a blessing for you. I can't even imagine that. Imagine someone telling you the good that's gonna happen. And then you want to come up with reasoning to say no? I get it. If it's logically impossible, you should have a question. But if you just have a reason, there's a difference. There is a difference between logic and reason. Not all reasons are logical. So you should read it again. I love that one. We've also had the Philo, the Spirit, and just to think, John and Jesus were cousins. That's pretty cool. Kind of. Are they cousins? I don't know if they were friends. I'm sure they called them and all that. But yeah, I wanted you to think about that because it does relate. Well, we were talking about fear, and I want to talk about fear again today. But think about it. Logic, reasoning. I think some of you have reasons to be scared. I don't think you have the right logic to be scared. Ta-da. Logically, all of you could get a house. Every single one of you has terrible reasons why you're telling me you can't. Do you see the difference? Logically, every single one of you could get a home. You know why? Because I'm a little Egyptian boy. We didn't know anything and we figured it out. And I dealt with way harder Dodd-Frank. So you have no idea. You could logically, it's more than possible, actually. It's offensive. If you told the angel you couldn't do it, he would silence you for till you got the house. Because logically, it's possible. You just have a reason. You have a reasoning that you have reasoned, rehearsed, and told yourself as to why you can't. But logically, I've seen it happen. Logically, I've seen houses bought with $300. I've seen homeless people go homeless to housing, all of it. Again, logic versus reason. So, I don't know, man. Same with stocks. That's it. Like, again, all the people, why are you gambling and trading options before the long term? I don't know, dude. Do you even watch the stream? This guy, like, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but, like, I pray. I guess you get a prayer. I pray for you. But then I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I mute your account if it's on Twitter. And they'll be like, oh, Josh, I'm starting my long term next month. But in the meantime, I'm like, dude, do you guys not see how batshit that is? First of all, if you think I'm gonna like vibe with you, I don't at all. But what are we talking about? What's the logic versus reasoning in that? So you reason that you could trade and you have to trade and gamble, but logically you can't just save and hold? It makes zero sense. I've had more people tell me they couldn't, or they're going to go do this before that. And then again, they're using a reason, not logic as to why they can't get the long term. And then they'll go and blow the money on everything else. Or they'll trade their way up and then right back down. And then now there's no long term. Do you see? Exactly. Everyone's full of explanations. It's full of reason. But the logic. Again, the angels won't accept that, bro. I hope you see. Read Luke 1. That was the difference, bro. And that's why, too, some of you asked the question. So you're like, well, Josh, I can't. Don't know. There's logical impossibilities and everything else is reason. If it's a logical impossibility, God will handle it. We could have that talk. But if you just have a reason, what are you saying? So now, I'm just going to continue Friday, bro. This is what we talked about. That's what I'm saying, the fear. I think some of y'all scared still. And you're being scared off of reason, not off the logical. What are you logically afraid of? You shouldn't be afraid of anything. Like we said, let me remind you once again, brothers. Fear is not a limit. It is a signal. You know that, right? Every time you get afraid of something, you're all going to have fear naturally. You need to stop letting it dictate your actions. Bro, the only reason you're trying to speed it up is because I think you're afraid you're going to fall behind. Am I wrong? Come on, deep down, some of you who insist on, I have to option trade before long term. I got to do all that. You're scared of falling behind. You are fearful of falling behind. That's why you're trying to do financial steroids. Am I wrong? I don't know. Think about it. So, unfortunately, I don't think that fear is helping you. Like I'm saying, if you live dictated by fear, you're going to lose your thought. You're going to lose all of it, all your opportunity, your mental accuracy, everything. Fear is a signal. Fear is a guide. Fear is letting you know what you're doing is important. But it does not mean you run away. It does not mean stop. Remember, movement in motion, momentum, fear hates it. Fear is a limit. Or is not a limit, it's a signal. You are afraid, you can keep going. Ask anybody who's been afraid and kept going. It's just telling you something. Are you listening to it? Most of the time, fear is telling you that you are at the edge of your growth. You're standing at the edge. You could either turn back now, or you could go ahead and we're about to discover something. That's it. You know, do you see and do you not get what the big mistake is? This is why I'm telling you to process. Think. Use the info and make your mind up. You know why? Because fear doesn't go away with time. And time is very weird with fear, if you haven't noticed. Actually, the biggest mistake that people make with fear is thinking they could wait for it to subside. Right? How many of you have thought, I'm afraid, but I'm gonna wait till it chills out, and then I'll take the step. Oh yeah, I'll go on the boat when the storm goes away. Like my sister said, I'll invest when it's a little bit more stable. That's the mistake. You know why? Because fear does not shrink with time, it grows. Fear only shrinks with exposure. That's why you have to expose yourself to things. That's why shock exposure. But that's the mistake people make. They're like, okay, I'm gonna wait and I'll wait. Okay, right now I see it, but I'm scared. I'll wait. And then they wait, fear subsides, and then they're like, then I'll take the step. But my brother, that's not how it works. That's it. The growth isn't there. The opportunity is probably way different. My courage does not come before action, dude. That's it. That's what people want. Do you see? You want to be courageous. You don't wait till the fear subsides. You want to be courageous. You're at the edge of fear. You're saying, okay, I either go back or not. Courage, you have to take the step with the fear there. But if you wait till the fear subsides and takes a step, that's not courage, actually. That's not growth. So this is what I've been trying to share with you. Especially when it comes to thinking the right way. And even your mind. Is uncertain. Do you not get it? I love this. Because I thrive in uncertainty. I thought it was because I was traumatized. I thought because I grew up so traumatic with my Arab parents and it was so crazy. I thought that's why I liked uncertainty. It's not. I thrive in uncertainty. You know why? I have my whole life. Even as I've grown older, the more uncertainty, the better. You know why? And I want all of you to have this. You need to be trained and you need to learn it through experience. You'll know in your heart, your mind, everything. Uncertainty is not the end. It's actually the beginning. Every time I have felt uncertain, I've learned to morph that into the beginnings they are. That's why I like it. That's why when I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what's going to happen, that means something new is starting. Every time. Do you see why I like it? There's another part of the world, uncertainty makes them run away. They haven't discovered this yet. I've discovered this through enough. I was forced to in some places, right? That's why early in life, I was forced to deal with uncertainty that I didn't want to. But I did learn after I connected the dots. I'm like, yeah, it did lead to something. Always. Actually, that uncertainty was a doorway to a new beginning of something else. That's why I felt so uncertain at the moment. That's what I've learned here day in, day out, even with the stock market. Every moment of uncertainty has been a new beginning for us. You don't believe me? Go back and look at your portfolio. So yeah, this is what I was telling you. How come you guys haven't figured it out yet? You don't get it? See, some of this stuff I knew. Like, I'm just learning how to harness everything I have already. That's it. That's what I want to even share with you, Chad. But like intelligence, it's there. We know a lot. We could access more. But you haven't figured this one out yet? My brother, how can I take you to the next course? How can I take you to the next meal if you haven't even digested this one yet? It's what I already told you. I'll tell you again. You've heard it before. I would argue most of you know it. You just may have drifted from applying it. Repetition rewires reality. That's it. My brother, there is reality. And if you repeat something enough, you can rewire reality. That is facts. That's alchemy for you. It's true. Why do you think they propagandize it? Why do you think they tell you it all? Go see anybody who has repeated the same thing over and over again. It happens. You know what, motherfucker? We did get a compound. I don't even understand it, but that's the reality now, if you really think about it. Go down the list. I'm trying to give you one of the secrets of the universe. You want intelligence? Here it is, brother. Repetition rewires reality. The smartest and the most wisest of people know this. That is why they will keep repeating whatever they want. You don't understand that? Go look. They all did. Exactly. It could be used for or against you. That's the beauty of it. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's a real principle. Anybody can harness it, and you could use it in either direction. It's a public utility. Repetition. You are either you're gonna rewire your reality via repetition to benefit your life or to hurt your life. That's it. Think about it. You rewire who you are in your reality every time you repeat this stuff. Again, some of you, I don't think you're bad people. My brother, you keep doing a certain behavior, you are going to rewire reality. Some of you were not a degenerate. You will become a degenerate. You know why? You keep repeating it. Repetition will rewire reality. That's why I see kids grow up. That's why I see rich kids grow up with everything. They got good parents. They turn into weird scammers. Repetition rewires reality. Vice versa. I've seen people literally go to prison, have nothing, and now they are businessmen, or literally multiple property landlords. Repetition rewires reality. It's what they told themselves and how they behaved. I know the felons who have gone through jail, everything. And you know why they actually rehabilitated? Because they repeated who they were. They found God in the pen and they repeated it. They repeated who God and Jesus said they were. It rewired their reality. Again, I've seen kids and people who have had every opportunity. They kept repeating and rewiring reality of something that just wasn't them, but in an odd way, they became that. Repetition or rewires reality. My brother, every time you repeat that gamble, I don't think you realize you're rewiring your reality. Every time you repeat the long term in savings, you're rewiring reality. Repetition rewires reality. You want anything, repeat it. Let me put it another way. You don't want something, don't repeat it. How many are you harnessing this, or are you drifting? Seriously, that's all I'm saying. You all know this. I didn't expose anything new to you. I just said it in a different way. That's it. None of this is new. You know it too, especially if you've read the books I've read. Do you see what I'm saying? That means you have drifted from harnessing this power and authority. Act like you own the land, brother. It's yours. Like, you don't get it. You need to. Go look at the world. Look at the people who change. I told you, Chad, we gonna be Carnegies. We gonna be the next JP Morgans. If that sound crazy to you, I'm glad. Amen. That should prove my point. You don't get it? All these people, all the people you've heard about, the people who built this country and everything, all the good, man. You know that? That's why too, bro. Praise God. I really have not done anything. You know why? Y'all really think I'm gassed up on myself? Dude, I didn't build electricity. I needed electricity. I needed internet. I needed roads. You know that? All that came before me. Praise the Lord. You know that? Praise those people who benefited good things, but God first and foremost. You don't get it. I couldn't do what I do without the internet. I couldn't do what I did if the people before me didn't fight for freedom and have this stuff so I could drive these roads and do all this. You don't get it, huh? That's how deep I'm thinking about this. That's how I believe we have been sent here and how it's been planned up to this moment where we're getting subbed in after we already had the electricity. Y'all don't feel me, bro. But you don't get it. All of these people and the people who changed the world and made it for better for all of us, bro. You don't get, let me put it this way. They all started scared, bro. You know that? Everybody. The fear is not going to leave you. They all started scared. You know that? The Carnegies, the JP Morgans, the Buffetts, the Mungers, every single one of them throughout their life when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, they were scared, bro. You don't get it. You think they're special? They weren't. I promise you. You think I'm special? I promise you I'm not. We are all the same. You need to understand this. This is part of the power. They all were scared. I've been scared, bro. I was a scared little boy. The difference is that the greats refused to stay that way. That's it. My brother, I do get scared. I was scared a while ago. I said I'm not going to stay like that. Sorry. Bro, it was scary when I had to decide what path I was going to pursue, but I wasn't going to stay that way. Neither are you. Do you understand? That's how you repeat. And you will get out of you will rewire your reality for whatever you want. You're going to feel scared as you push the boundaries. That's the point. What are you going to do when you feel the fear? Are you going to run back and retreat, or are you going to now use that opportunity to not remain in fear? My brother, fear is not going away. My big question I've been asking you is how many of you are going to remain in it? Remain in it and let it decide your life. Make your decisions when you got clear-cut answers. Are you just going to let the fear decide? Are you going to remain in it, or are you going to, nah, I can't? They all were. Everybody. Anybody who's done anybody who's great right now, they all were scared. The difference is who remains that way. So that's it, man. I hope you don't, bro. I'm excited for those of you who don't, and I look forward to it. That's why I'm saying I love you. And this is worth more than any money, bro, because watch, you're going to change the world, bro. The man and woman who comes out of this, bro, we're like, for real, clear thinking, accurate thought. No fear. What are you going to do with that? That's a beautiful thing, bro. So I hope you get it. And like I'm telling all of you, don't need no crazy leaps, nothing special, and I'm not asking anything unnatural. It's unnatural to let fear guide our lives, because fear is just a signal. It's supposed to warn you about what you're about to get into and how to handle it. Not to run away, not to stop, not to change your goal. No, doubt your effort, not your aim. But I'm telling you, Chad, I'll be real with you. The fear is never going to leave. Do you understand me? My brother, it's never going away. You're a human. You don't want it to leave. Trust me. It's never going away. I promise. But I could almost guarantee those of you who walk with the Lord, Jesus, first and foremost, you will stop flinching to it. You will stop shrinking to it. That's it. You will realize and you will treat it for what it is, a sound and a signal. That's it. Just like every other noise outside, just like, is there a fire alarm going off? Oh, does it need a new battery? You're going to treat it how it should. It's not going to control your life. You're not going to get smaller every time you get scared and run away. You're going to stop flinching and hesitating and wasting time. No, you're going to take it as it is, a signal. Ooh, this is important. Ooh, new frontier. Ooh, uncertainty, new beginning. Just a signal, bro. So, Chad, it's not your limit. It's just the signal. So I look forward to this, man. And I hope all of you can really apply this. Like I said, man, if you could hear this, you could do it. Like, for real, bro. If you could hear this, you could watch, you could see, you could become great. It's just a matter of that switch, bro. In your mind, the belief, like I'm saying, the fear. What's controlling you? What are you afraid of? Why don't you want to believe in yourself? What are you afraid of? Is it how people are going to look at you, or you think they're going to call you crazy? They will, bro. Even when I bet you watch, some of you are going to have to realize if you're scared of being called crazy, you're going to act so normal and you're still going to get called crazy. Hate to break it to you. What are you scared of? Why don't you want to believe? Why do you give me reason? Tell me the logic. My brother, if I'm telling you, go have a child, and you're like, Josh, I'm a virgin. Okay, that's logic. I say, go get a house. What are you telling me? All you're doing is giving me reasons. So, Chad, have no fear. Move forward. And if you're really afraid, bro, just understand that uncertainty is telling you something. And I would love, and I think whether you like me or not, you might thank me one day for this. Because that fear is signaling you for the next level. Take it. Don't run away from it. Live in it. Grow. Embrace that uncertainty. And when you embrace the uncertainty, you're going to learn more and you're going to see it. Or you could keep living by the dictates of fear and remain in it. It's up to you. But nothing's required. No major leaps. Just small, definite actions consistently. I look forward to it. Take that one to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile, press hot chat, X out the chat, hit the thumbs up button. Okay. Are they still live? Oh, they're gonna do another meeting. Everyone's watching still.
Blessed enough to have a dream,
Oh, wait.
chase it, bro.
I was gonna play the other one, but I guess we'll play this. I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southie sad them. Come on, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes with your talking and your bitching. Just show me that you don't get it, look. Now I wasted your time trying to reprimand. Explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach. The big leagues ain't throwing underhand. I'm not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad. Mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have. So I could feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I could teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now. Slow in the fast lane, answers in my last name. They really didn't listen, that's a damn shame. But that don't mean my plans changed. Maybe just the landscape did what I said without a handshake. 3,004 an ounce, that sound like a fair rate. Word is gold, they only kept theirs too late. So I'm out with your new face, a snake can move a few ways. ways. And life a bitch that lie about how the fruit tastes. Welcome back. Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a cult, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you tryna control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah. It's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it. Set apart from the start, and the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god. Then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib. But for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing, they want that to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say a prayer. Here, let's say it now, Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen. Yeah. I can play one more, but I'm good. I don't have any more propaganda or songs. And we're back. Today's flown by, bro. That's it, man. It's been a long time, but it's flown by. I'm doing some foot workouts now. So yeah, that's it. We could do one more. We could do humble then, because I'm just doing my lifts right now. I need it, bro. I need my ankle. I've been like, you have no idea. Ankles, toes, all of it, bro. All of it. Where is it? That one again. All right. All right, yeah. Bud denied the Sydney Sweeney one. That one didn't even move. Yeah, Roblo on the high. I don't know. I think we're going to hear from Zelenskyy and Trump once again. But other than that, we are wrapped up for most of it. Now, that's 30 minutes till power hour. So, yeah, let me know if you have any off topics or any questions. Now would be the moment. Now would be the moment. Kyiv? For what? No, I don't think, they said they're going to do a trilateral meeting, but they're still in America. So I think they're going to do another press conference with Zelenskyy and Trump. They might be. We need Trump to say something about Intel. I think you do, but a lot of y'all are just going to get too emotional about it. So I'm done with it, though. I made my video. I posted it. I made my decisions. So I think a lot of the back and forth though is gonna I'm done though. So I did my job. I did mine. Now you guys just got to get through it. I hope you made your mind up, or you make it up later, or you can make it up when everybody else does too. But yeah, I think it's straightforward. This day might be in the textbooks. Well, it could be the start, really, from even last weekend. You know, it's just this whole war kind of coming to an end. So we'll see. Yeah, today you barely moved. It had its little moments. You had your little pops and drops, but zero follow through on any of it. About a C Corp taking positions of IP. Yeah, you could email. But again, too, though, like, if you are going to be getting in, like, that advanced of stuff, like, make sure you have somebody, like a professional who's, like, involved in that. Because that's what I do. You know, anytime I purchase companies or anything, even my tax strategy, I am hiring the best people. So there's a way to go about it, and I could always give you advice. You could email me the situation, but just make sure you have someone, either a business broker or at least a really good accountant, to help you with the proper setup. Because again, if I don't know all your information, so I'm assuming there's somebody who does have it all that could also give a more accurate answer. UK going down? Oh, I didn't know that. Workday, waste management. Didn't we look at the other day? And then again, you got Walmart and a few others this week. Walmart, Target, HD. That's why I think like Bud and some of the other ones, they were already like running on that stuff. So C. Yeah, UK's been terrible. Their inflation and non-inflation linked bonds. So, which again, I don't know. That might carry over to the US eventually. It's not good. It just means inflation in Europe, which may not seem like a problem to you, but remember at the beginning of the year, like their inflation will hit us. Oh, polyol. They can move a lot. Again, if they could surprise, it'll move. But it was still kind of slow for earnings. But yeah, I think Workday, or who was the other one? The other day, AMAT was another big one the other day. GP, I think. What is it? I think it is GPB. Something like that. I know. Ew, why am I blanking on that? No, I know it's like the FXY. Oh, FXB. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, FXB. Again, all of them have been at that like level still. They haven't really done their breakout. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on PayPal. It could be, it might take a week or two, but if it's like really bad, I think it'll hit big. If not, nothing. Or you'll hear about it in like a month. Like remember Microsoft, I think one of like SolarWinds, we had one of those headlines and I think it hit like a month later. Workday, I keep seeing that one. And then we only have an hour and a half. So at this point, you'll get a little bit more data tomorrow. And then again, towards the end of the week, we're going to get Powell. And then if you want to think ahead, you can look for the rotations and some of the other ones. But other than that, it just, you think about hawkish or dovish Powell for the week. And then whatever you're feeling. Some people even think he could either be extremely hawkish, or they think even, I don't know if I believe it. I think it was Mike Wilson who said Powell dovish would be bearish. He said if Powell's too nice. I think Jackson Hole, it could just because Powell is very important right now and nothing has moved. But also, like ever since that one Jackson Hole, everybody's been hyped on Jackson Hole. So people don't really get too hyped on Jackson Hole. And it hasn't been known to trigger like big events. We just get really, really hyped because of the 2022 one, which like shocked everything. No, I don't think we could ever get a repeat. That 2022 Powell was very, because remember, inflation was going crazy, rates were really low, 4 trillion new dollars, and like, yeah, he just had to make the message clear because no one was believing him. Because remember, they weren't raising rates prior. That kicked off this whole higher for longer process. We never saw that till Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole kicked off the rates, and then he kept it up from there. Ever since then, if you really think about it, except for September, right before the right before the election. What timing? But yeah, so I think it makes sense. But it's like makes sense in the sense where like this may not be your crazy like you may not ever see a crazy Jackson Hole unless we're in like it's Jackson Hole in the middle of like another one of these major shifts. But I'm open to it. I just remember like ever since then though, none of the Jackson Holes have like they've kind of been duds. Well, everyone just gets hyped because of 2022. Egypt. I saw the Egypt. Odds of a hard landing? Well, I think when they come back up, that's going to be your opportunity for cheap puts, just on the risk to reward. But other than that, I think hard landing is always going to be the risk. And in a weird way, that's what everyone's talking about now, whether they admit it or not. You know, this whole idea of the labor market weakening or random things falling, or like this weakness in the economy. It's pretty much saying that things would quickly change or land very hard. So I believe in it. I actually kind of, like I'm saying, I think that'll probably be how this cycle ends. Just when it's all said and done. Whether it happens in these next couple years or the next cycle or 4 years, it'll probably end with, everyone feels one way and then randomly the data lands very hard and then we have to react. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. AI can replace a lot, yeah. Okay, SPY, you got bonds too. Well, a lot of things just took it. But then again, nothing has had follow through. So realistically, if you get up to the high and break it, then I would get excited. Or if you get up to the low and break it, then I'd get excited. But everything in between. Oh, we've done that a few times. If Trump gets what he wants, if the market follows in or reprices. Well, if he gets what he wants, I think the economy will still go up. So I don't think it would like be a sell. I have heard people say that though. And some people think like, I kind of more agree with China once we don't have a China deal to look forward to. But like once you get everything and there's nothing to look forward to, that could change the dynamic. But a lot of what Trump wants is just inherently bullish. And bullish for like assets and stocks, but then again, it comes at a long-term price. That's why I didn't like the deficits that have been being ran. But low oil, low taxes, having the dollar strong but not too strong, and being willing to absorb where it's at. And then again, low rates. And then big spending. These are all things that are bullish by default. Now again, we'll pay for them down the line, but yeah. And then the AI list is actually kind of crazy. I'm telling you, like AI it handles a lot of repetitive tasks. You're pretty much just gonna have a lot of people get replaced, and then pretty much like teams where there's like 5 to 15 or 20 people working on it, those will be replaced by one person with a bunch of AIs. But yeah, little by little. I don't think we're at the stage yet where it's going to replace a lot of other crazy shit, but it's, oh, that core reef. But little by little. I mean, I don't know if you've heard it, like software developers. So like, I don't know, back 10 years ago, 2015 to like 2020, if you were like a coder and you had like basic coding, you were getting like 100, 200K a year job. And you could even work, people were working in San Francisco with like very minimal coding experience, but you were just so far above everybody else. So now those are the jobs that are getting lost. Like right now, if you only have basic like coding tech experience, it's so much harder to get a tech job. And then a lot of people in tech are getting laid off, believe it or not. So like ironically, the coding and like they kind of created their own lack of jobs, but then it does start to feed into it's starting to feed into like manufacturing. Hunter Biden talking about fucking McDonald's, and that makes sense though. It's getting there again, self-driving cars and the physical AI. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's hard to move up unless you have like talent, like a certain level of skill and talent. But now just like AI, like you used to pay people to make a website. You could pay people to do a lot of back-end basic coding stuff, and now just like AI can do it. So it changed the ball game there. So that's been a surprising one. And then you'll start to see the factory jobs and all that change. LLMs messing up your industry. Yeah, that's what I've heard. And the numbers too, like you could even see it on the war notices and like the Facebook, Microsoft stuff. They've been doing it for a long time. It's just now, I don't know, I feel like it's finally setting in, but it's tough. It's tough for tech software engineers right now. It's not easy because of AI. Engineers, like, yeah, almost everybody will eventually. And what it's going to come down to is like I'm saying, one person manages the AI. That's how they're optimizing these systems. So that's how you could like make money by firing people and still have optimization with a human. They're just having a human look over the AI. So that's it. The people keeping and getting the job is the one who could look over the AI. And then that way you're just signing off on whatever the AI does. And then if you fuck up, they fire you and then they put somebody else to sign off on the AI. That's it. That's where we're headed to. Thailand to launch crypto to bot conversion for tourists. That universal income is coming. Not really. I think it could lead to that, and I see the people will advocate that, but I don't think it should happen. I mean, I don't think that's a good thing, but there is like, that is the theory or the tin with like AGI and it actually reaching there. So it's in the realm of possibility, but I don't necessarily agree with it or forecast it. This is going to be worldwide. It already is. Because again, that's the good part. AI is good because then it makes just cheaper to do stuff now. And the more and more all these people spend a fuck ton of money, they get rewarded. But that just means the future tech and the same thing that you were spending lots of money to do, you're spending a lot less to do now. Like, that's tech. So yeah, that's what's going on. oligarchs love their non-universal income. So listen, man, if you're gonna defend universal basic income, like honestly, what the fuck are you doing in the stock market? Just go, y'all need to live your belief, but otherwise, you're a capitalist too, dog. That's what I don't get. I don't care about like that. I just care about AI. Like I told you, they're building AI for me. I'm so excited because AI is going to make it very cheap to get stuff. And that's why I look forward to it. And then that's what I'm saying. I would just be more concerned with whether or not we like hit that technology. And if we could get a computer to think, actually think, not the misnomer that everyone believes in now, but then like you get real AGI, that's where the realm of possibility opens up universal basic income and all of that. But yeah, like that doesn't matter because you'll have way other stuff to either worry about or not worry about if you had it. No, I'm just saying, I don't know, I don't know, when you say the oligarchs, you remind me of my sister and a lot of other people, and that's why it's just funny, because I don't see my sister in a stock chat. But it reminds me of this. I'll play this for you. This was the only tweet that I liked this weekend. You know that? Well, August 14th, I guess I don't like shit. This is my last like. Yeah. So here, I'll show you. I said something of this of this effect before.
No kings. Unless it was during the pandemic when all the mom and pop businesses were shut down, but the government said it was totally fine for all the major super rich corporations to continue operating. But I didn't really care because as long as I could get my Starbucks and go to Target, I was fine. No kings. Except during the pandemic when we told people that they would lose their job unless they took a certain medical product, or they couldn't even go into certain restaurants without vaccine paperwork. That was crazy, but I didn't really care because I just complied. No kings. Remember when we also told people that they had to not visit their loved ones that were sick and dying in the hospital, the elderly? They had to die alone. That was really sad. We shut down the schools, completely wrecked the developmental learning for a whole generation. I mean, that was tragic, but we don't really talk about that because that's over now. New outrage, no kings. Remember when we were told over and over if we got that medical product, we for sure would not get sick. And even though the people that got it immediately did get sick, we were for sure told they wouldn't spread it. And then that gradually became, well, like 95%, like 75%. Okay, there's no evidence it does what we told everyone it does, but we've already made everyone take it that would anyway. And no one really cared because it's new outrage time, no kings. And do you remember during that time, anyone who tried to bring attention to these issues on social media was censored or their account was banned? And limiting free speech at that time seemed okay to me. I didn't really think about it. No kings. You don't hate authoritarianism.
This part's for you.
You just hate what you're told to hate by the algorithm and the news outlets. Be so for real. I just wish the anti-authoritarian energy was present during actual tyranny from both the federal and local governments during that time. But no, of course not. And it's not authoritarianism if the majority of the people voted for it, both popular vote and electoral votes.
I was like, damn.
People wanted the border secure. So settle down and start thinking for yourself. Turn off the TikTok.
Turn off the TikTok. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I tell to my sister you guys were like taught by oligarchs what to hate in an oligarch. It's just so weird, man. Like I say, like, you probably, like, you don't realize how, like, again, you're even coming to a chat room where we're trying to help people own assets and get out of any sort of poverty. You get what I'm saying? And then you guys will try to like defend logics or like negate stuff here and like derail conversations with that logic, but it's like you probably learned it from somebody really rich, and then you're deep down defending a giant corporation. Probably like, I don't know if you realized it yet at this point. So yeah, like I'm saying, I'm trying to teach people about AI, using it, and then helping them invest. And I want everybody to know what's going on so that they could protect themselves and make money and not be reliant upon any oligarch or anybody, and so that they could think for themselves. But you guys got to start looking back. I gave people this lecture in the beginning of the year with all like the Biden people after Trump and all that, and I was just like, listen, man, I don't know what to tell you guys, but the logic doesn't track. That's why I can't vibe with it. And that's why, like, believe me, I don't like rich people. I don't like certain people with power. I don't like authoritarianism, and I don't think everybody doesn't like it, but we should apply it at the right time and like be fair with the assessment and judgment. And our job here isn't to, I don't know what some people's job is, but at the end of the day, we just got to get our assets, own, protect ourselves, and set up our future. So hopefully, regardless of your side you're on, you don't have to rely on anybody. Ta-da. I like distributism. That's been my thing as of late. Say, turn off the TikTok. I don't even have a TikTok. How do I think it'll affect it? I don't know, man. It's a dumb conversation. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's really foolish. Where did it come from? And oligarchs, we're talking, like, look at the country right now. Look at the world. Some of you don't even know what really it is. So yeah, it's a waste of time. We should talk about AI though, and AGI, and what that would lead to. That was the real conversation. And how we were saying, like, again, it's affecting jobs, what jobs it's going to affect. And like I was saying, it's not about universal basic income. It's about what does the world look like when you have that level of technology where that's possible. Do you see what I'm saying? To change the spectrum of thought. So you're telling me there's going to be a computer that can think. Think about that. So it's going to be able to reason, start to assume, and be like, oh yeah, think about it, like a child or like a teenager. And then it's going to be able to do these tasks, and it could even like foresee problems. That way you could have a robot do stuff, and then you could also employ it. Again, what happens when things become really cheap? It might be easier to give food to people, bro. It might be easier for like infrastructure. Like, you got to think about, this is crazy. That's why I'm like, bro, the future is a trip if you have the AGI. And so how long will it take to get there? How will we get there? But like, the landscape would change. So like, this UBI talk, we're having, and we could agree with it and disagree with it in this spectrum. But this world, it would be a different world by the time it would be able to happen. Does that make sense? The thing that would allow UBI would change the world so much that it would have a different impact on us. That's why I don't even think the conversation is about UBI. I think you guys are missing it. Do you see what I'm saying? UBI, you're focusing on like a sub-consequence. You should really be looking at the asteroid itself, not what a pebble that comes off of it or what it creates. Does that make sense? That's why my mind right now is tripping off of AI. Not like in a way you guys have heard. Most everyone, you guys are hearing the Wall Street narrative, these stupid people thinking a fucking bot is thinking. It's not. I'm 10 years ahead, bro. Like, I hate to break it to you. So, and maybe I'm 5 years, or maybe it happens in a year. I don't know, but I'm not thinking Wall Street money. I'm thinking like, bro, listen to what we're talking about, bro. Do you not hear this? Yeah, like, it's like an iRobot, but we can't even imagine it yet. Like, that's what I'm telling you. It would be a whole different spectrum. And I think everybody's on one spectrum right now. We're talking like radio, internet. This is a different spectrum. It's a different change. And the things that would allow what you are looking at if we had the setup for it, just the world would be completely different. And that's why I'm like, yeah, it's possible. I don't think it's a base case, but yeah, exactly. We're talking, you guys are talking UBI. I'm saying the thing that would allow UBI would cure cancer, if not other things. Or we're talking just a whole different discovery or accessibility to access resources, communication, that would just change. Like I told you, I didn't remember I said this about a week or two ago, and I was just saying it would change the whole entire value system. Oh, y'all don't feel me. Oh man, I need to go into a cave or something, and I'll come back in 10 years. Because I don't know, I might be a little early. Robot girlfriend, you guys are just getting fucked, literally, by the computer. But that's a different one for the bot fuckers. That one's just fun. See, I could go really funny or I could go really deep. But either way, I'm just, we're talking like, it's just the difference in value system. Like, people don't understand that yet. Like, you really don't get it. I don't even have my mind fully wrapped around it. Like, right now, you value things with money and monetary, but we're talking like, when the resources and access to resources and monopolies change, you would have a whole different value system, and it's possible. That's what I'm saying. A different futuristic world with like a real AGI, like fucking sci-fi AGI. Yeah, your whole value system's changed. It changes to like energy and like frequency. It's really different. It's cuckoo shit, bro. It's really cuckoo. But like I'm saying, like I could space it out in years and blocks, but if you do take it to its logical end of conclusion, it's fucked. It's just really weird. It's just like, yeah, everything, money changes. Or you have a new money that's not based on money. It's not, think about it. The old money system was like resources and time balled up into a piece of paper. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, time, your currency would change. It's exactly what I'm telling you. But people don't, it's too crazy. You can't understand it yet because you don't see it, and you won't see it until you get AGI. But once you have AGI, in the snap of a fingers, it'll be there within a month. That's the crazy part. That's the problem that people don't realize. It'll take you'll climb up the first half of the mountain for all of eternity, and then you'll scale 10 mountains in a minute after that because you've discovered that. And that's the crazy part. But like I'm saying, really value system. If you really want to get deep in, like, that's what I'm saying, UBI, in this value system, think about the money right now that we're in. In a weird way, your peak is UBI. I'm just saying, if a new money system, the new peak is no longer AGI. It's no longer basic income. What are you talking about? Literally, think about the word basic income. Yeah, that's a basic timeline. We're talking about the next level. Y'all don't feel me? I need to go. I'm going to go fucking get some candy and go take a lap. It takes a lot to power this mind, Chad. And Jesus, above all else. So, hey, man, praise God. Down. I'm excited.
Was hustled out of the White House pretty quickly after that meeting, and they canceled the rest of the afternoon's events. So from that perspective, things are going well. That was a very serious photo op. Not a lot of words said. You heard the president speaking to camera people there. The opportunity there was for the still cameras to get a picture of all those leaders side by side, and it's an impressive tableau as they all stand there. So not necessarily an opportunity to talk to cameras, but there wasn't a lot of gripping and grinning, patting of backs and the other things that you're used to seeing when you see politicians side by side. In this case, given the gravity and enormity of the subject, maybe that's appropriate. But this did not feel to me like a group of people that was super enthusiastic about what had been happening behind closed doors. We'll wait and see for more official readouts than just kind of taking the body language.
But these are, and I know there's probably some people out there that are listening or watching and thinking, why are we talking about a photograph? Why are we talking about Zelensky's outfit? It is because, Eamon, I would presume in your years of doing this and all of our years of doing this, that you're looking for the little things, right? The smile here, the frown there, the handshake here. What are they saying? What are they doing? Those are the only clues we have right now.
Yeah, and we're just getting live pictures now, Brian, as you can see here, of the roundtable discussion. That is a live look in, and that, I believe, is the state dining room. Someone correct me if I'm in my ear if I'm wrong. And you see the booth of translators there behind them. You can only imagine the translation difficulty when you have all these European leaders speaking all these different languages at the same table at the same time. But we're getting a peek now into the meeting being run by the president. There you go.
Yep. And we are going to listen in to President Trump right now.
President Putin right after this meeting. I'm sure we're going to have a solid meeting, good meeting, maybe a great meeting.
Trump is live. Good timing.
We're going to try and work out a trilat after that and see if we can.
Market loves hearing that, but then when he stops talking about it, it goes down.
Because this is not since the Second World War. Honored to welcome Secretary General Mark Rutte, who's a great gentleman, great political leader in Europe generally, but now he's the NATO Secretary General, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Mark. Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom, our friend and my friend, and doing really well. And people like him a lot. We all like him. Everyone knows President Macron of France, who's been with me from the beginning. One of the first people I met as a foreign dignitary, and I liked him from day one. And I like him even more now. That's pretty good. That's unusual. That's a pretty unusual thing. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, who's a really great leader and an inspiration over there. She's served now, even though she's a very young person, she's served there for a long period of time relative to others. They don't last very long. You've lasted a long time. You're going to be there a long time. Chancellor Merz of Germany, who is a very strong person and a very strong leader and very highly respected in Germany. And he's my friend, and it's an honor to have him as my friend. Thank you very much. Very good. You look great with your tan. Where did you get that tan? I want to get a tan like that. President Stubb of Finland, and he's somebody that, where are we here? Where? Oh. You look better than I've ever seen you look. But you've done a great job, and we wanted to have you here because you're somebody that we all respect. And you've had a lot to do with the success, I think, and the potential success. And thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. And the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who is somebody that we just made a big deal with all of those countries. I don't know. I think you might be more powerful than all these guys at this table. I don't know. But we had a great negotiation, and you're respected all over the world. So I want to thank you very much for being here. It's a great honor to have you. The Alaska Summit reinforced my belief that while difficult, peace is within reach, and I believe that in a very significant step, President Putin agreed that Russia would accept security guarantees for Ukraine, and this is one of the key points that we need to consider, and we're going to be considering that at the table also, like who will do what, essentially. I'm optimistic that collectively we can reach an agreement that would deter any future aggression against Ukraine, and I actually think there won't be. I think that's even overrated, largely overrated, but we're going to find out, and I think that the European nations are going to take a lot of the burden. We're going to help them, and we're going to make it very secure. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact. That means the war zone, the war lines that are pretty obvious, very sad, actually, to look at them. And negotiating positions. President Putin, also, you have President of Ukraine, who is you just met a little while ago, and we're going to try and get a three-party meeting, maybe as soon as we can. And I have a feeling you and President Putin are going to work something out. Ultimately, this is a decision that can only be made by President Zelenskyy and by the people of Ukraine working also together in agreement with President Putin. And I just think that's very good things are going to come of it. So I hope we have a good meeting. And if we can have a good meeting, I'll set up a meeting with President Putin. And if you'd like, I'll go to that meeting. And not that I want to do that, but I will do that because we want to save a lot of people from dying. A lot of people are dying, and we got to save them. Got to save it. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people sometimes a week. All of us would obviously prefer an immediate ceasefire while we work on a lasting peace, and maybe something like that could happen. As of this moment, it's not happening, but President Zelenskyy and President Putin can talk a little bit more about that. You know, in the 6 or so wars that we stopped, we haven't had a ceasefire, and so I don't know that it's necessary. You can do it through the war, but it would be, I like the ceasefire from another standpoint. You immediately stop the killing. But I believe a peace agreement at the end of all of this is something that's very attainable, and it can be done in the near future. With all of the wars that I got involved in, we only have this one left. Of course, as I walk out the door, there'll probably be a new one starting, and I'll get that stopped too. But I thought this was going to be one of the easier ones. It's actually one of the most difficult. They're very complex. The next step would be for a trilateral meeting, and that will be worked out. And I just look forward to working and having a great result. We're going to spend a lot of time today talking about, and we're really honored you guys came over. I mean, these are the heads of major countries and respected all over Europe. And they speak for, largely, I think I should say, but pretty much for the other countries of Europe. And we will come to a resolution today, I think, on almost everything, including probably the security. And that's pretty much the story. I'd like to say, Mr. President, would you like to say something? You have the media. If you want, you could come over and you could stand, you could use mine, or you could just turn around, whichever you feel comfortable with.
Thank you so much. I can speak without microphone. Thank you so much. I think that we had very good conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
And it really was the best one. Or sorry, maybe the best one will be in the future.
I could speak without
it. Was really good.
They turned it on.
And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees, and we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here, and the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those leaders who are with us in our hearts. They have been online before yesterday, and etc. So a lot of countries on the side of Ukraine, our people, and all of us want to finish this war, stop Russia and stop this war. We spoke about it, and we will speak more about security guarantees. This is very important that the United States gives such strong signal and is ready for security guarantees. The second point, or maybe the first, humanitarian direction, very important to exchange all the prisoners, and I think that President will help. And I was very thankful to your wife again, Mr. President, for the letter about our abducted children, and I hope that really it can be a historic role for the people to bring kids back to the families and be happy at the families.
Back, yeah.
Yes, this is so important, and I'm happy that we discussed it, this track with the President Trump, and I hope that we will find decisions. And then what is very important, that all the sensitive things, territorial, etc., we will discuss on the level of leaders during the trilateral meeting, and President Trump will try to organize such meeting, and he said that he will come or not come. Ukraine will be happy if you will participate.
Want me there, I will be there.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this is very important. Yes, so security guarantees, bringing kids back, and all our people, not only warriors, first of all warriors, and all the civilians, journalists, a lot of people in prison. So we need them back. And guarantees which will work for the years. We spoke about it, and I showed the President a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting, and I'm very thankful to all the
I think it is. I think,
leaders
I don't know
here,
if
and
he
you
can get into reality, but he's talking
so
very good about it.
Happy
and they did a good step.
Unity
you know, they're getting everybody involved.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And I think you'll see that President Putin really would like to do something else. I think when we set that up, when we do, I think it's going to be when, not if. I think you're going to see some really positive moves. I know there's over 1,000 prisoners, and I know they're going to release them. Maybe they're going to release them very soon, like immediately, which I think is great. But we're going to set that up today after this meeting. So very good and great remarks. I appreciate it. Mark, as head of NATO, maybe you could say a few words, please.
Yes, I will be very brief. I really want to thank you, President of the United States, dear Donald, for the fact that you, as I said before, broke the deadlock basically with President Putin by starting that dialogue. And I think it was in February that you had the first
All you had to do is
phone
talk
call.
to the
And
guy.
from there, we are now where we are today.
Last 4 years, we
and
will
that
not
is,
talk to him.
I think if we play this well,
Thank you
we
for
could end
breaking
this.
the
And we
deadlock.
have
You
to
did
end.
so
We have to
well.
stop the killing. We have
Don't
to stop
end.
the
Wait,
destruction
deadlock,
of Ukraine's infrastructure. It is a terrible war, so I'm really excited. And let's make the best out of today and make sure that from today onwards we get this thing to an end as soon as possible. I really want to thank you for your leadership, what you are doing for Volodymyr, but of course also all the European colleagues. It is really crucial. And the fact that you have said I'm willing to participate in the security guarantees is a big step. It's really a breakthrough, and it makes all the difference. So also thank you for that.
Well, NATO also has agreed from 2% to 5%, which is something that is a massive amount of money. And it's 2% that wasn't always paid to 5% that is paid. That's a big difference. And so we appreciate that. That was a great move. Thank you very much. Ursula, maybe on behalf of the Commission, you could say a couple of words.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's a very important moment. Indeed, we are here, Europeans, as friends and allies. We had a fantastic NATO summit. Together as the two largest and biggest economies in the world. We had the largest trade deal ever agreed. And now we are here to work together with you on a just and lasting peace for Ukraine. Stop the killing. This is really our common interest, stop the killing. And indeed, it's very good to hear that we're working on the security guarantees, Article 5 lies security guarantees, so important. But I want to thank you also that you mentioned the thousands of Ukrainian children that have been abducted. And as a mother and grandmother, every single child has to go back to its family. This should be one of our main priorities also in these negotiations, to make sure that the children come back to Ukraine, to their families.
Thank you. And we did. I was just thinking we're here for a different reason, but we just a couple of weeks ago made the largest trade deal in history. So that's a big thing, and congratulations. That's great. Thank you very much, Ursula. Mr. Chancellor from Germany. A very great leader.
Mr. President, Donald, many thanks for having us today. I think this is extremely helpful that we are meeting and hearing that the two of you are having such a good meeting today here in Washington. The next steps ahead are the more complicated ones now. The path is open. You opened it last Friday. But now the way is open for complicated negotiations. And to be honest, we all would like to see a ceasefire, the latest from the next meeting on. I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that, and let's try to put pressure on Russia, because the credibility of these efforts we are undertaking today are depending on at least a ceasefire from the beginning of the serious negotiations from next step on. So I would like to emphasize this aspect and would like to see a ceasefire from the next meeting, which should be a trilateral meeting wherever it takes place.
Well, we're going to let the president go over and talk to the president, and we'll see how that works out, and if we can do that. I will say, and again I say it, in the 6 wars that I've settled, I haven't had a ceasefire. We just got into negotiations, and one of the wars was, as you know, in the Congo was 31 years long. Another one that we settled last week with 2 great countries was 35 years going on, and we had no ceasefire. So if we can do the ceasefire, great. And if we don't do a ceasefire, because many other points were given to us, many points were given to us, great points. Please, Georgia, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Donald, Mr. President, for hosting us today in this important meeting. And I think it is an important day, a new phase, after 3 years and a half that we didn't see any kind of sign from the Russian side that there was a willing for dialogue. So something is changing, something has changed, thanks to you. Thanks also to the standing in the battlefield. Which
you guys actually just tried to end the war without fighting.
And with the unity
the first attempt.
that we all provided to Ukraine. And the reason why I mention it is that we also have to remind that if we want to reach peace and if we want to guarantee justice, we have to do it united. So that's why it's a very good day, the one we are in. You can obviously count on Italy as it was from the beginning. We are on the side of Ukraine, and we do absolutely support your efforts towards peace. We will talk about many important topics. The first one is security guarantees, how to be sure that it won't happen again, which is the precondition of every kind of peace. I'm happy that we will discuss about that. I'm happy that we will begin from a proposal, which is the, let's say, Article 5 model, which was Italian at the beginning. So we are always ready to bring our proposals for peace, for dialogue. It's something we have to build together to guarantee peace and to defend the security of our nation. So thank you, Mr. President, for hosting us.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel?
Thank you, Mr. President, for organizing this meeting and for your commitment. And everything was said, but I just have to say here, everybody around this table is in favor of peace. And we work very hard, and we've worked very hard during the past few years to have a peace which is a robust and long-standing peace. This is why the idea of a trilateral meeting is very important, because this is the only way to fix it. And by the way, I think as a follow-up, we would need probably a quadrilateral meeting, because when we speak about security guarantees, we speak about the whole security of the European continent. And this is why we are all united here with Ukraine on this matter. In order to organize such a trilateral meeting, your idea to ask for a truce or a ceasefire, at least to stop the killings, as we discussed, is a necessity. And we all support this idea. And in order to have such a long-standing peace for Ukraine and for the whole continent, we do need the security guarantees. And the first one is clearly a credible Ukrainian army for the years and decades to come. And the second one is our own commitment, all of us. And we worked very hard during the past few months amongst the coalition of the willings, with the support of NATO, to build the different pillars of security guarantees and our commitments. And you can be sure that the Europeans are very lucid about the fact that they have their fair share in these security guarantees for Ukraine, but their own security is clearly at stake in this situation. So you can count on us, as we can count on you, in order to deliver this robust peace for both Ukraine and Europe.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Mr. Prime Minister?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting us here.
They're going through the motions.
I mean,
it's like both fast and slow, but like,
peace.
This is what happened on Friday, bro. The more I just sit here, I'm like, wow.
Has had a huge impact.
We haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
The brunt of it.
But yeah, this is all the European leaders. They're all together after you did the Russia thing. So pretty crazy.
Hasn't been affected. And when we talk about security, we're talking about the security not just of Ukraine. We're talking about the security of Europe and the United Kingdom as well, which is why this is such an important issue. I think this is such an important meeting. As a group, I think we've had a discussion on the phone a number of times, Mr. President, but be able now to be around the table to take it forward. And I really feel that we can, I think, with the right approach this afternoon, make real progress, particularly on the security guarantees, and your indication of security guarantees of some sort of Article 5 style guarantees fits with what we've been doing with the Coalition of the Willing, which we started some months ago, bringing countries together and showing that we were prepared to step up to the plate when it came to security. With you coming alongside, the US alongside what we've already developed, I think we could take a really important step forward today. A historic step, actually, could come out of this meeting in terms of security for Ukraine and security in Europe. I also feel that we can make real progress towards a just and lasting outcome. Obviously, that has to involve Ukraine, and a trilateral meeting seems the sensible next step. So thank you for being prepared to take that forward, because I think if we can ensure that that is the progress out of this meeting, both security guarantees and some sort of progress on trilateral meeting of some sort to bring some of the difficult issues to a head, then I think today will be seen as a very important day in recent years in relation to a conflict which has gone on for 3 and a bit years, and so far nobody's been able to bring it to this point. So thank you for that.
I don't think you're going to
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, it's very interesting because this is the first for the White House. You can't say that
we have
very
45
often.
minutes left.
It's
You've
seen a lot
barely
over
moved.
the
You're at
years, over
0.02.
since 1800, 1799, to be almost exact. But this is the first where we've had so many prime ministers, presidents, the heads of European nations. And by the way, Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words, too. You're a young, powerful man. Before I finish up, I want you to say a couple of words. Go ahead.
I'll take the notion of youth back to my
different
wife and try to convince her. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think in the past 2 weeks we've probably had more progress in ending this war than we have in the past 3.5 years. And I think the fact that we're around this table today is very much symbolic in the sense that it's Team Europe and Team United States helping Ukraine. And the progress that we're looking out of this meeting is about the security guarantees, which are a big part of this. And then, of course, moving towards a process with a trilateral meeting with you and President Putin and President Zelenskyy. Some of the international media might wonder, why is the president of Finland here? I think the reason is probably that we might come from a small country, but we have a long border with Russia, over 800 miles. And we, of course, have our own historical experience with Russia from World War II, the Winter War and the War of Continuation. And if I look at the silver lining of where we stand right now, we found a solution in 1944, and I'm sure that we'll be able to find a solution in 2025 to end Russia's war of aggression and find and get a lasting and just peace. The situation is very difficult, but that's why we're here.
Thank you, Alex, very much. Good job. So we're going to be meeting for a while, and we're going to discuss some of the issues. And I don't think there's any issue that's overly complex. It's at a point now where people want to do things. I really do believe. I've known him for a long time. I've always had a great relationship with him. I think that President Putin wants to find an answer too. And we'll see. And in a certain period of time, not very far from now, a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue. We'll do our best to get it ended. And I believe you have two willing parties, and usually that's good news, but two willing parties are going to make a deal. And we'll journey together, and we'll go over, and we'll see if it can be done. And it's possible it might not be able to be done. On the other hand, it's possible it will. It will save thousands and thousands of lives a week. And so it's something we really have to do. And, or at least we have to give it our best. It's all you can do. You can give it your best. But I think we may have a very good outcome. So I want to thank you all, and the media, I want to thank you. We're going to be staying here for a little while. Then we're going to walk over to the Oval Office, and we're going to have another little discussion about similar matters. And then they're going to go home to their great countries and report. And I'm going to remain here and work, and you're going to go and work. We're all going to be working we may be in a different location, but that's what we know how to do is work. But I want to thank the media. Has been actually very fair, generally speaking, very fair. I think it's important that they're fair, because this is a very important subject. We have to get it ended. And so that's all we ask for is fairness with the media. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was muted. Oh, man, my bad. Yeah. I was explaining, 2 weeks that you guys got your time frame. I don't know if you heard it. He said pretty much end of the month. Add that to the list. We have Jackson Hole this week. Then you're going to have the SEP in September and the Fed. But at the end of the day, it was you now have this peace deal. Pretty much the trilateral meeting. He was saying that's when they're going to get one of these decisions. If we find out that's it, then end of the war could be a huge tailwind. And bro, everyone's tripping. Not in a bad way. It's funny because everyone's playing along. The media's playing along. Donald Trump is being nice. Fucking Zelensky's being nice. Putin's being nice. Everybody, I don't know. It's like shifting. Do you guys not see it? So obviously, the way this has gone, Russia, Ukraine, one of them is very liable to attack each other very soon. But if they don't, and we actually in the next couple weeks, I mean, this might actually be something. I'm telling you, it says, I don't know, the way I thought we could have pretty much ended this a while ago if people were willing to talk to Putin, but it's funny because they're all like, wow, Donald, something changed. Thank you, Donald. But it's like no one wanted to talk to Putin. You don't remember where he kept saying, we'll talk, and they were like, we don't talk with war criminals. We don't talk with war people. And then all of a sudden, Trump invited him over, and he's like down, and now, everybody, even everybody in the EU is down, the leaders. That's what I'm saying. You got NATO playing along, the media, everyone's playing along. So, I don't know. I would argue this is the closest you have been to the end of Russia, Ukraine in a long time. The only thing you got to watch for is if they attack each other in the next couple of weeks, pretty much. One of those, random drone attacks, or if you hear something of that nature, then that would be the problem. But for now, and then add that to your timeline. End of the month now, or pretty much next 2 weeks, whenever that trilateral event is, that could be big. I don't know if everyone's getting along, but little by little. I think everybody just wanted their opportunity. That's it. They clapped everyone in the beginning off the fear so that they could get in. They couldn't let us take it all. I'll believe it's over when it's over. I'm not gonna lie with you. That's probably the best approach. So everything else is emotion. Everything. That's why I felt bad on Friday because I was getting a little too hyped. It was it was historic. Microsoft flushing. It's historic, and it's like it was very optimistic, man. For especially, like I'm saying, the pacifist in me got really excited by it. But I think that it was all emotions. I think what you're saying is the best way to look at it. That it will be over when it's over. We can now forecast and timeline, but it's expectations and emotions. So at that point, we know where we're headed, but I wouldn't take it as changed until it happens. It all looks good. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So far, Baba's flushing too. You got Microsoft on the low, Baba on the low. We only got like 40 minutes, and then you going up. No, I wouldn't be worried about Taiwan. That's down the line. But Taiwan, a lot of people don't understand how bad China's doing right now. So again, how many years? It's been a while now. How long have you guys been hearing China is going to take over Taiwan? Do you remember the first time you heard it and you believed it? That's when everybody goes through this. It's like gold and zero hedge. And so, you hear about it the first time, maybe the second time you hear about it, you're like, oh my gosh, and then you look up the history and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? You keep doing that, but then take a step back. How long has it been since you first thought China was going to take over Taiwan? How many weekends, how many random months at a time has it been imminent or close? And then, so... Okay, you still going. We got free play. All the uranium. Something. Hold on. I put CCJ up. But now URNM is running up as well, too. Yours was 2008? Oh, no way. Yeah, now you're talking. That's a real one. Most people, it was like you heard it like 2014, 2015. A lot of the young guys heard it in like 2019, 2020. A lot in 2021, 2022. But all I'm saying is it's kind of like GameStop and AMC. Like, bro, it's been like half a decade or 2 decades for some people who have heard this. So I'm just saying, it's not like obviously Taiwan is important, but you know, I think if China ever became like as powerful as they were a couple years ago, maybe we could have that talk. But right now, I don't think they could handle it. Xi Jinping is gonna lose. Xi Jinping isn't in the best spot right now, and I think he's doing other stuff. But last thing they could do is handle a Taiwan invasion with the U.S. and culture and everything else. So, like I'm saying, I wouldn't stress over. I've seen a lot of people really overthink it or give that way too much weighting in their analysis, and just the reality is it doesn't really have that big of an effect. It's not one of those. It's not like a reality, or it's not like a high probability. Oh, you lived in Taiwan? No way. What just happened? Okay, there it is. It wasn't the Taiwan riots. It was Hong Kong. That's the other one. Hong Kong's different than Taiwan. That's another. So, but yeah, I do remember that vividly. The cell phones disappearing. Yeah, I don't know. The Taiwan, just because it has truth to it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's entertaining and you could talk about it, but it's true. Taiwan's very important. Taiwan, and like, they have a different culture and they want different things than China. And like, it's very, very critical for a lot of stuff. And like, if push ever came to shove, yeah, that's a critical choke point for like supplies. So it's important and there's truth behind it, but like all out invasion, war, and like what people think, no, it's like more likely you would probably already be in a conflict with the US and China, and then they would resort to using Taiwan already. You would already be in the conflict before it, but it's not going to just happen out of nowhere. And if it did, it would be when China is either really like even worse than they are now or way better. They have to either be desperate or in a position of strength. But right now, they're like oddly weak, and it's a weird time for China. It just doesn't really work with like, take Taiwan, like that doesn't, I don't know if that's high on Xi Jinping's list, and then the risk to reward of it, losing your empire and giving it to the West if this fails, fuck no, that's a big risk to take. So I don't think they're going to do it yet, or if at all. Yeah, they'll do it from the inside. Exactly. 100%. That's what it already is everywhere. Even, but then again, Hong Kong is much more like liberal. You know that, like Hong Kong is China, but it's different. It's just so much different culturally. And so like that's why it's good. Like China, they don't have the same control like back in the day. And like, you know, there is places where the influence has waned, even if it's a Chinese territory. So Hong Kong's very fascinating. Never been, but the finances, that has me all up in there. Your grandparents are trying to do a reverse mortgage. Why is that a bad idea? No, it's a good idea. It usually has negative connotations, but I think it's one of the best loans out there. So like most people, like the kids hate it because then they're like, they think they don't get anything, but you still get stuff if your grandma would pass away, but it just makes sure that she could live in her house, have no payment, and then even have some spending money. I love the loan. If I could get a reverse mortgage loan at my age, I would do it, but they only give it to 65 and 62 and up. So yeah, but I like the loan. I think a reverse mortgage is a good idea. So it just all depends. I have people too, but I don't like to refer because I don't want to make money off of it because the negative connotation, but there is guidelines. So You could email and I could just tell you what to watch out for. Or if you get a quote, just negotiate, really ask about the price and how much you're paying, because it's unregulated in terms of what they could charge. So that's the other part of it. The only times where reverse mortgages get bad is if the person funding the loan just scams the points and takes a lot of money off top. So that's it. That's the way you're going to lose on it. But other than that, it's generally if you do your due diligence, you get a really straightforward lender who does the loan. Only a certain amount of lenders can do it. Then yeah, it's just all about the deal and then the equity and what you're planning for your family. Oh, he's listening? Nice. Yeah, tell him. So, like, I'll explain it because I like this loan, bro, and I think some of you should do it for your parents, especially if it's going to help them. But I'll explain why people don't like it. So, like, people think that it's like the bank taking the house and the descendants don't get anything. That's not true. So, a reverse mortgage, it's a normal mortgage, but it's called negative amortization. So when you take out a loan, let's say you borrow $100,000 on a house, you pay $2,000 a month for your payment, $1,000 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest, right? That's a normal amortizing loan. You're paying off principal and interest. After 30 years, you pay it all off. A negative amortizing loan, you get a payment, but if you don't want to pay the payment, you could add it to the balance. So now you owe $100,000. Instead of paying the $2,000 and lowering the principal and interest, you could say, I don't want to pay it, and then add the $2,000 monthly payment. You could add it to the principal. So now you owed $100,000 on the loan. The next month you don't pay the payment. You now owe $102,000. And then next month you don't pay it. Now you owe $104,000. But then you don't have to pay. You're just adding to the balance of your loan. It amortizes negatively. So instead of amortizing and paying down the loan over time, you don't have to make a payment, but then your loan balance can increase over time. That's it. That's all it is. That's why it's a reverse mortgage. That's why it's a reverse mortgage. Does that make sense? That's it. That if you understand that, it truly financially, it has good and bad depending on how you're going to use it. So like I'm saying, for old people, I think it's one of the best things ever, because if your parents again, you have to go to the lender. I could give you a list of lenders to avoid, and I could give you the top lenders. I also have referrals, but like I said, I want to give you something unbiased. So it gets really sticky with that because there's not too many people who do this, and then it has such a negative connotation. So the whole idea is that if your parents are above 62 and could qualify, or your grandparents, you could take up to 60% of the house value. That's what like the max they'll let you do. So, and then you have to have the house insured. So the house has to be up to date with property tax and has to be in relatively decent condition because the bank's going to want it insured, and then they'll let you borrow up to 60%. So let's say your parents' house was paid off, and let's say it's worth $1 million, right? You could borrow up to 60%. So what that means is that your parents can live in the house, and then they get a reverse mortgage or a negative amortizing mortgage on the property of up to $600,000. They would get half of it in cash, the other half as a credit line. So now until they die, they have spending money. Then they get to live in their house, but then they don't have to pay the payment, so they could save their rental money or their income. And then they get the cash, they don't have to pay, and then every payment they don't make, it adds to the balance of the loan. So they start at $600K, they also get that money to spend, and then every payment would just add to the loan. So now, when worst comes to worst, the parents or the grandparents pass away, the property has a mortgage. So let's say they lived for another 10 years, right? They borrowed $600K. After another 10 years, they probably added maybe like $200,000 in payments to the house, maybe more. So now you owe $800,000 on that house. And then let's say the house is worth $1.5 million now. Because again, it's been another 10 years. So you still got to own the house and live in it. They got to use it too without making a payment. House appreciates, they pass away. Now you have to pay the bank back. So the bank does not take the home. A lot of people think that a reverse mortgage, the bank takes the home. That's not true. They foreclose on it, or they would say, hey, you owe us $800,000. You could either refinance and just take it over as a regular mortgage since you don't qualify for the reverse since you're not old enough, or you sell the house, pay the bank back the money that your parents already used, right? That was their, again, they got to live a good life towards the end. That's why I like it. It's, you know, people complain about descendants not getting anything, but I'm like, yeah, but the person who owned it, they got to at least, you know, live comfortably in their final parts of life without that stress. So you just pay off that money, and if the house was 1.5 million or even $1 million, let's say the house didn't appreciate in 10 years and it was still $1 million, and then you pay back the 6 or the 800,000, all the remaining money gets split amongst the descendants. So you still get equity, and it still leaves the family something left over, but it also does give the opportunity for people who own their house, and if they're older and they can't make as much money, they could live in their house, also get money, not have to work at fucking Walmart at 70 or 80, you know, because that's what happens, you know, when people on fixed income and then they have to pay a payment. So this avoids the biggest cost, gives them a credit line, and then even down the line, you get to live in the house. The longer they stay alive, the longer the house appreciates. You're gonna, you know, that's your property, and the bank is not entitled to it. And if there's any equity after all of it, even if mom, grandma, dad spends it all, it's just like there's still the equity in the property, and you are entitled to that. So yeah, I would do it. That's what I'm saying. It's a no-brainer. To be honest, yeah, you could buy up rentals too. So you could go pull out the money and go buy another house if you really wanted to. So if your parents are 62 years old and they have their house, they could do the reverse mortgage, take out 60% of the value, and go buy another rental property if they really wanted to. All cash. It's just up to them. And then if the real estate market comes down, they can't change the reverse mortgage. So if you borrow at $1 million now, and then the real estate market goes down 30%, they can't go back and redo it. So you made money. Ta-da! Yeah, the descendant has the opportunity to refinance and keep the property. They just have to pay back the money the person took. Because again, that person took it. That's the only way. They either just didn't pay the payment or they pulled all the equity and used it. So they either get to refinance or they sell the property and keep the difference. 60% of the value of the property. That's the max they'll loan on it. And then you're left with whatever equity depending on what they... So the bank will let them borrow max 60, and then however the payments amortize that you choose not to pay. So depending on how many years they live in it and how many payments they don't make, that's going to get added to the balance. You can use it to downsize, but I wouldn't. I would use it to stay in your home. That's the point. The point is so older people don't have to make dramatic changes later in their life, especially if they already own a home. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to move old people out of a home. You could let them stay in there without it being a financial burden. That's the whole idea. Because like it's hard to move, bro. And if you're above 70, 80 years old, like that's just not, and then the property taxes and all of that, it's very difficult. So this, at least it gives older people an option. And that's what I'm saying for you guys and your parents. And if your parents have a home, like this is something you should think about. When you refi, you don't have to live in it. No, it just depends on what loan you get to refi out of the reverse. Otherwise, if you're not going into the reverse, that's a different story. If it's just a normal refi. Yeah, let me know. I like helping with these. They're really, that's why Tyler was with me. We helped that one lady. This lady was, I always say, Marjorie. I love her. She almost lost her house for $600. So that's what I did with her when we found her on, like, we were just door knocking, and then we found her situation. But, like, I told her, I was like, listen, I'll pay your fucking tax bill. No fucking way. But she was about to lose it for a $600 tax bill. She lived there her whole life. She was just old. She got into an accident. It was just hard on her. And so she was about to lose her house for $600. So, yeah, we helped her with this. We fixed up the property a little bit just so she could qualify for insurance. And then that's it. We got her the reverse. Boom. She got money. No one's kicking her out. And then that's, yeah, bro, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff. For older people, it's a cool tool. Like, obviously, there's a negative connotation. And, like, some people, it may not be. Like, you don't want to do it in every scenario. But, like, if you got a house and you're in the worst possible scenario, no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. I don't know. You can't reverse mortgage. You can't sub to. You can't do anything. You have to live in it. It's for seniors. That's the whole point. It's for an old person to live in. That's it. And they won't make the financial obligation a lot. You could live with your parents. So if your parents get a reverse, they have to live in the property, but then you don't have to make payments as long as they live in it and they're alive. But then they could have roommates. You could have kids in the property. It doesn't matter. But you can't do that and then rent out the main property. It has to be a primary residence. They're very strict on that. The thing about reverse mortgages, if you don't meet any of the qualifications, they'll send you a letter and say you need to refi the loan. Because if you don't meet the stringent like qualification stuff, they're gonna get rid of you and you have to change it. So if they know you're renting it, you're gonna lose the whole no payment benefit. Because that's a huge benefit. Do you guys realize that? That's a good beat. But yeah, you don't get what's it called? I like that beat actually. Where'd it go? This is a good beat. I like these guitar beats. You hear that? I don't like that one. Produced by MySpace? That's his tag? It depends who the loan is under. So it depends who qualifies under the loan. And you only need one parent needs to be at 62. I didn't check the email. I said after the bell. That just came up on YouTube. After my my relaxing music. Produced by MySpace. Your parents still owe. They could go up to 60%. So like if they owe money, they could still do it, but only a portion. You see what I'm saying? So then that way what the bank will do is pay off the original loan and then loan you up to whatever the 60% would be. So if they paid off 40%, then they could borrow an extra 20 pretty much. Or if they paid off 60. Oh yeah, big fan of mortgages. Produced by MySpace. What a weird tag. And dude, what a weird day. 18 minutes left. NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture now available on GeForce Now. If they stay alive for 30 years, is it worth it? Yes and no. Because if they stay alive for a really long time, congratulations. That's a win. But after 30 years, the negative amortization, you would have been another house. So, but then again, you didn't pay. So that's the good part about it. That's what I like about it, is that even after a long enough time frame, the negative amortization can really eat you up after like 25 years. After 25 years, it starts to, then that, depending on how the property appreciates. But then again, don't forget, that means 30 years of no mortgage payments. So put that into context, even if you were like an average American making what? And I don't know if my numbers are off nowadays. Let's say you're making $75,000 a year, right? And then 60% of your rent is that $45,000. Oh my goodness. Times 30. So yeah, that means you avoided $1.3 million in housing payments. So that would go to your house, right? So if you borrowed that $600K in the beginning, you now would owe $1.9 million after 30 years. So if the house isn't below, but then think about it. If the house is above 1.9 million, that kind of hurts you. You don't get as much equity on the back end. But think about it. What if the house only goes to 1.5? You just robbed the bank because they just gave you 1.9 million on a house that's only 1.3 or 1.5 at the end of it. So yeah, it all just depends on how you look at it or what the goal is. So, but like living comfortable life, access to money, not having to give up your home, and then again, not having a big mortgage payment at all, if depending on where that fits in, there you go. And then the other part is just equity and then value of the home. You get paid on the current value. So they'd appraise the property and then they say it's worth this much, and then they'll give you X amount, up to 60% of that. It could have been the acquisition. Didn't they buy Alani? No, they can't go after the estate. No. Negative. It's secured by the property. So no, they could only get the property. That's what I'm saying. In the long run, if they really stay alive for as long as possible, yeah, you're gonna eat all the equity. But then again, there's a good chance those payments would have been more than the property still too. So, but then if the property ever goes below what they gave you, they cannot go after you. They could only take the property. So that's the win-win. Because then, be my guest, if you just gave me $1 million in mortgage payments, or let's say you gave me half my property value and then the property drops, then yeah, the bank is the loser. They're the one holding the note. How do you go about paying your mom her half of property without one lump sum and no loan? Do you need paperwork to make it legit? Bro, what the fuck are you doing? I'm confused. So you want to buy half of your mom's property with no lump sum or no loan, and you're asking about paperwork? This already sounds like, what are you trying to do? So you could buy property from your parents, but like go through just a normal process or a promissory note. But yeah, you'll need something. Boeing popping? I wanted Boeing to pop. Oh, Bobo! I'm waiting for my dowry, bro. That's why it's gonna pop. I don't know why it's going up now. I have a different theory, but I'll take it. It's not even, bro, it's not even fucking 10-minute rigged. Yeah, Boeing just woke up. I mean, I'm hoping they're gonna start talking those deals. I don't see anything yet. I only see the Nvidia stuff. She doesn't want it. Then just have her removed from the deed. That's it. So just whenever it passes over, or if it's getting inherited, I don't know if they've already transferred it, but in even probate, just remove her from title, remove her from the deed. She could sign a paper. Yeah, just sign a paper. She releases herself, and then that's it. And then it's all yours. And then you just get that notarized, but then it's filed with the city. She files the quitclaim and then signs it, and then boom, it's filed on record under your name. I think it should be a quitclaim, or you could like just file a claim with the court to quiet title, and then she signs it. It's done in a second. USDA to stop backing solar projects on farmland. Oh, come on. Boo. Come on. I got a farm, but now I can't do a solar farm or wind. I didn't have any plans to. I wanted dogs. I like the dog idea, you guys. If we got like 50 dogs and then we just had our own little rescue, I'd be down, bro. I know, but I still want the cow too. But we need We need the cow sitter. And then I don't have anything on Boeing yet, but yeah, Boeing's still a going, brother. Boeing is still a going. Dude, the dog daycare makes a fuck ton. That's the other part. So we could just have our own little breed, but then if any of you want to just like take care of dogs on the farm, you could make so much. And then we have all the land. That would be probably the best business. It'd be better than horses, believe it or not. Because we would have the size for horses, but dude, these animals are like $40 a day. Do you understand? Like, no exaggeration, bro. We're talking 40. You could probably fit comfortably, let's say, what, 30 dogs on this property. I don't know if you could take care of 30 dogs. We might need more staff. 30 dogs at $40 a day. You're making $1,200 a day just off the dogs. And that's at 30. You scale that up, I think you could do 60 dogs if you really wanted to. Bro, that's crazy. That's just off of a dog daycare. And this is in Southern California, bro. You know how many motherfuckers pay for their dogs? This is the market. No, it'd just be on Rover, bro. You wouldn't need any of that. All you do is like, yeah, you would just run a dog daycare. We just have the land for it. If you had the one person think about it. You guys trade stocks. You could sit there all day with puppies and get... That's it, bro. You can sit there, you watch them, keep them, walk them around, play with them after the bell, take care of them. They'll have 30 acres to run around. Yeah, bro. No, not dog breeding. No, just dog daycare. That's what I'm saying, bro. I've seen people, if it's really good, they'd pay you $90 a day. Highest I've seen in San Diego, LA, $150 a night for a dog. But those are indoor. Outdoors, though, you could do like $40 to $70 a night. It's actually crazy. And like I'm saying, we have stalls. We can make it nice. They would like it. Good space. We have indoors and outdoors. That would kill it. You did it this weekend, $120 a day? Damn, 4 walks, 2 fees, yeah. Mm-hmm. You just paid $150 for 2 dogs? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Well, that's what I'd want. Like I said, if a Chad lived there, I think he should do that business. I'd give you the land, that's it. You help me out, I'll take everything else. If you could build a fucking dog daycare empire, that's it, man. Hypothetically, you could pay the mortgage and still walk away with 50 G's a month. That's what I'm telling you. I could give you the property, and if somebody is a hard worker and you have one of these successful dog runs, you could pay off my mortgage for me and still pocket probably like 20 to 40K a month at like high demand. Well, 30% demand, you would pay the mortgage, and then you would make your own mortgage, pretty much. So yeah, I looked into it a little bit. You want to throw dogs on treadmills and harvest their energies off of the solar panels. Okay, I'll throw that on the list. I don't know. We could look into it. My email is tradingfraternity@gmail.com. Albemarle, again, a lot of things kind of ran at the bell. I mean, I want to say some of them are related. And then healthcare's dumping. Boeing just came back all day. That's it. They just killed our premiums for no reason. 1 extra day less. So, because they held up decent in the morning, and then that was it. And yeah, we don't have much time. 7 minutes. So, Rapper-Rooney Chattadooney. That's Monday. Legal. What up, baby? Happy Monday. What's up, dog? How's your weekend? Feel like I haven't seen you, bro. They're lining the sidewalks with the things that compress and harness people's energy. No, is that where you got this idea from? Damn, maybe it's... why y'all talking about so much energy harvesting? I guess. How do you... To apply for the farm, you gotta just be there at one of the next meetings when we do the meetup. Because like I said, I put out the video and like I didn't think that many of you would be down. I did not think that many of you were that crazy like me and would be like, yeah, I'm moving across the country. So I got a lot of people who said they're down. And that's why, like, realistically, I was just like, all right, man, I think I need to meet some of you before I hand you the keys to my property. So, and I've met some of you before. So the way I'm looking at it in the first couple meetups, I'm assuming the most serious would probably come out, and then that way I could just meet them. And then, yeah, if we vibe, call it a day. You gotta do that Final 5. That was actually the front run to Final 5. My goodness. Okay. You need a new whip before you can head out there? I wouldn't drive. I wouldn't from Vegas. Bro, Spirit Airlines, it's a $20 flight. Like, no exaggeration. Spirit's not bad. I've done it before. I've done it several times. But yeah, bro, it's not. If you plan like a couple days in ahead, bro, we're talking $20, $40 round trip, bro. It'll get you here in an hour. In 1 hour. That's it. It doesn't get any better. Yeah, pack light, bro. Pack light. That's it. Fit it all in a backpack. 2 days, $20, $40 round trip. There you go. We'll get you picked up, dog. Just get to the fucking airport. Just get the flight. You get here from Vegas. I'm sure we can find somebody to get you from the airport. That won't be it. Maybe I'll just get all of you picked up from the airport. But then I might get arrested if I send in a big white van to pick up a bunch of people and take their phones at an airport with wearing masks. I don't know if that'll work. So, but yeah, we'll figure it out. You don't need a new car though to come up. You'll be fine, bro. That's it though. Spirit flights. I think even Frontier or Delta or United. I saw one, bro. $40. I wanted to go. I was gonna go. They had no JSX flights, bro. I saw $20 to Vegas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will stop. ICE will stop you. But like, bro, the guy who did it, the guy who helped me with some of the floors and the paint, homeboy's been deported already. He already came back. I'm not even kidding you, bro. This guy even tells me, I'm like, bro, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they'll stop you. I'm like, what? And I'm like, how do you go? He's like, I just show him. And then that's it, bro. But my guy already got deported and came back. Nah, so you're chill though. As long as you gotta have papers. He got papers now. He has papers. That's what. He's not worried. He tells me all about him. He says they get stopped. He said they'll fuck with him for a little bit, but then once you have the papers, they leave you alone. If you don't have the papers though, they'll fuck with you. Or they'll literally, like, you'll get deported. If you have no paperwork or anything to verify. Alright, well, Chad, not much time, brothers. Monday flew by. I can't believe it. Let's see. One step closer to peace. Not too many plays moved, though, man. Today was a little bit of a little relaxation from yesterday. So we'll see where it leads us. But, Chad, if you don't like loud noises, I'm probably going to get even louder. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. But I'd wrap it up. You got Palo Alto, I believe, after the bell. And then we have a couple more earnings later in this week. HD, Walmart, Target, all of that. So hopefully you made your mind up. If you want some ideas, though, I'll see you on the watch list tonight. I'll see you on the watch list tonight. And now you only have 1 minute. Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, options, futures. Wrap it up. Wrap-a-rooney, chat-a-dooney. Less than 30 seconds. What are you doing tomorrow? You should finalize your play. Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna wait till somebody tell you? Are you gonna wait till the next headline and the premiums change 50%? Or what are you gonna do? Make up your mind. But you have less than 10 seconds. Wrap it up and get ready. And that's all I have for you, baby. God bless you. God bless the veterans. Thank you, baby Jesus. 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Or not. Oh, Chadadonia. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you for real? 7 hours in the books? Just like that? On a Monday? I didn't have to ban anybody for the Philo. You know that? But, oh, you guys, it's a good day still. Y'all had to wake up a little bit. Good game, baby. Let me get that GG. And thank you for not getting banned. You know that? I ban everybody, apparently. So thank you. Thank you for being not everybody. Thank you for not conforming. Thank you for being special. I love it. God bless you. God bless you. So I'm talking about you. Long way to go. Long week. Make up your mind, son. Good game and GG. Thank you, bro. For real. Let's go. I'll be aggressive, Angel, bro. If you can listen, you could be great, dog. All it takes is hearing. You have been sent, dog. Good game, you don't feel me. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Long Term. Thank you, members. Thank you, Dono. Thank you, everybody who held it down. Thank you to everybody I'm gonna see at the end of the month. Good game, baby.
My money on stocks, I can show you the top. Every bottom I pop, both the key and the lock. Don't believe me, just watch. Use my freedom a lot.
Need me to rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Wow. All I do is die. Bullets been in like I'm neon bad. Been a. Amen, bro. Amen. Wow. God bless America. Thank you, veterans. Freedom. Freedom of thought. You have freedom to be not fearful. You understand? Come on, guys. Stop playing with me.
Yeah. All I do is eyes, but it's
feeling like I'm Neo.
It's been a long time coming. Hope that haters see this shit. Oh my God, mess with me. That's who you dealing with. Oh, why I love it. My whole teeth so greedy geniuses. All I do is eyes, but it's feeling like I'm Neo. It's been a long time coming. Hope that haters see this shit. Oh my God, mess with me. That's who you dealing with. Oh, why I love it. My whole teeth so greedy geniuses. Red pill, blue pill. Took them both and made a coat. On the water, in the hills. I'm trying to buy the southern coast. You and I got different goals. You love the world, I love my soul. You love that girl, I let her go. I'm trying to roll, that's a no. Bitch, you wasn't with me in the gym. Fuck your Richard Lim, give me dividends. Beneficial lens, fuck the latest trend. We ain't following no men. Let's stay born in Nazarene. You got the gun, I got the pen. Yeah, see, God made me a different dude. I'm teaching class and grabbing loot. I'm preaching facts, can fight the truth. I'm starting to think they like to lose. They came to fight, but brought a noose. You ain't my right, but lack the tools. Let's squash the beef and let me school. All I do is eyes, but it's feeling like I'm the OB. It's been a long time.
Come here, hope that haters see this shit.
Oh my God.
CRM bought a company, Regello.
Oh, I love it.
My whole team's a greedy geniuses.
All I do is eyes, but it's feeling like I'm the OB.
It's been a long time. Come here.
Hope that haters see this shit. Oh my God, mess with me. That's who you dealing with. Oh, why I love it. My whole team's a greedy geniuses. white whip, red whip, Mercedes truck, a double I. I hope you know I'm just a man, and hope you know that's just a car.
That's all it is.
I
They're
gotta
things.
go, I'm going hard, I'm flipping contracts, going
Does it
live,
love
I
you
teach
back?
better in the sun. Bitch, you wasn't with me in the booth, watch me flip the news. They was quick to quit when they thought we lose, but I follow rules. Know the golden how it moves, know what one turn to a two. Void that Oompa Loompa doos. All I do is dance, but it's feeling like I'm the old man. It's been a long time. Come in.
I do want to play some ball today. They kicked me, bro. You know that? I told you, though. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be tomorrow. That's it. Once they found out I'm not old enough, they got mad at me. I hope we're still friends. I love them. That's it, man. But I'm gonna work out today. That's it. Get a good lift in. You know, I got a meetup at the end of the month. I can't be looking small. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, Josh, I thought you did push-ups. I thought you went to the gym, Josh. I'm going to say the same thing to you. I'll be like, oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. So you got 2 weeks, bro. You got 2 weeks. You better start hitting them push-ups. It's going to be an audit. You got 2-week audit. 2 weeks, you're going to get audited. Mm-hmm. So I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. A wonderful day. We will have a watch list. So that will be exciting. So God bless you. And thank you. And you have a good evening. And enjoy your time. And remember, fear is just a signal. Okay? Are you going to remain in fear? Or are you going to make the decisions? That's anything. Small, repetitive, definite actions will get you anything. Remember, repetition rewires reality. So get going, bro. Get going. Get to repeating what it is. You see, get to repeating. That's small, good decisions. So, Chad, I love you all. And you know God is with you too, right? And you know God loves you. It doesn't matter that you love God. Too many people love God. I know that sounds weird. What matters is he loves you. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. That means you are here for a reason. He loves you. He's waiting for you, bro. Okay? And just remember the cycles, bro. You know that? The cycles. That's why I hope you realize life is what you make it, brethren. Okay? And I want you all part of everything. The authority, listening. Right? How are you going to listen and not be great? It's possible. You're going to do it. But that same respect, bro. I hope you hear. I hope you hear peace. Believe me, we battle in a lot, but in your heart, stay peaceful, brother. Do you understand? Move through the rest of your day. Anything that tries to get in your way, anything to pull you away from it, just remember your thought. So that's it. Don't get distracted. Do not drift. Remain at peace, my brethren. And God is with you. And he loves you, bro. That's all I say. He loves you. That's different. You were sent. I don't know if they feel me, bro, but God is great. And I love you all. And have a good rest of your day. And again, you all can. You all can make it a good day. Even if it's a bad day. Even if it's a bad day, you're going to make it a good day. You know why? I don't want to give away too many secrets. But you've already heard this one. Every seed. Every failure is equivalent success. Do you understand? That's a law of nature. They don't get it. Repetition rewires reality. Every seed of failure has an equivalent opportunity of success. That's just reality. I'm sorry. Whether you like it or not, it's just weird. You got to deal with how you handle it and respond to the noise. I'm not trying to say that noise ain't noise. I'm just telling you how to respond to it. Oh, I hope that. All right, man, but I could keep ranting, but just God is good. You know what I'm saying? And seek the Lord. All of this stream, all of the Philo is a waste of time if you do not go to the actual source. Do you understand? That would be like reading the video game books and never playing the video game. I don't understand. You must seek the Lord. Seek him on your own. Seek him in private. Seek him in quiet. On your own, you will get discernment. You rely on another man, you're not following the rules. Read it. Read it! But I love you, Chad. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory and through the grace of God alone. That's why we're here every day. That's why you're here. Okay, every day, bro. It's amazing. So may the Lord be with you. I already know he is. I'll see you on the watch list, and have a wonderful day, and peace. Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a cult, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god. Then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib. But for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing, they want that to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting.